Hi guys. We're doing the thing again.
I was gonna let him talk this time instead of saying hi when he says hi, and Harry had to go and do that.
I mean, every single time we have let Doc say like hi, we're doing the thing. I thought I'd change it up,
But
because like this episode it
that's
changed
quite a
things up as well.
That's quite a change.
We are changing things up. This is episode 6 of the Six Pack Podcast.
Right.
666.
Natural 6.
But I feel like the audio listeners are going to hear this demon voice in the background, and be concerned. That's all I have to say.
That is a very real possibility, Shan.
Right. Especially if it's 666 and you have the demon voice in the background. Come on.
Yep.
The ASMR demon voice. We love it.
Yeah.
Trying my best. Very good. We are here. Guestless. We will have a guest soon. We will be returning our guests.
Where have we been keeping the guests?
We don't talk about that on live. Harry, we'll discuss where we've been keeping the guests in the green room afterwards. All right.
We will.
Right. Any housekeeping, guys?
I'm Harry. Hi, hello everybody.
Hi, Harry.
Because we haven't introduced ourselves yet. I've got no housekeeping apart from I did make the General Tso's chicken from last time. It was nice.
Excellent.
Good.
Very potent.
That
Holy
is
fudge.
your cue, Shan.
My cue? He was still going, so I was letting him talk about his chicken. I'm Shannon or Shan, whatever. Doesn't really matter. I'm here. Vibing.
The doc is here, as well. We the trio is here.
Can I just say, was that like sound like door knocking there for anyone else too? Did everyone
sorry.
Else? Okay.
I was absentmindedly tapping my chaps against the table.
Okay.
Realized I was doing it, and then put it on top of the scrunchie so I wouldn't touch it. And I hoped that no one would mention
Please
it.
Please do not
But
fiddle
it
with that
was
any
me.
longer. Yes.
I know.
Everyone has literally gone to check their door right now.
I was just given a box. It was a late Christmas present of 120 fidget toys. And I should probably just bring one down here at this point, but I forgot that I had it. So
it's the same. It's the same energy. It's the same energy of when you have like a YouTube video that just has like the random like Discord ping sound or like Windows notification sound that just plays randomly in it.
Like that time you ran the stream and we kept seeing your Discord notifications.
Yep.
Because I kept taking out of context screenshots.
Yes, I do think the best though, Harry, is as you say when it's the Windows device connected, device disconnected sound. That's the best.
Yeah.
Right. Episode 5 was good. Thank you to everybody who commented, etc. There. Both on YouTube and on podcast platforms.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the comments. Get in them.
Yes.
We get in the comments, as one guy says.
Thank you. Very good. I think we can whip.
We're just diving straight in.
We're gonna dive. We can dive straight in. To some news.
Yeah, we got a
news.
lot of news. New news.
We're coming up like properly to like the 1 year anniversary.
Yep.
What's it like next month?
Yeah. I think
we were going to talk about what we were going to do, and then we didn't talk. So this is our reminder. We should come up with something.
There will be a discussion about what we are going to do.
Nice.
I'm adding that to the predictions for next episode.
About
predictions
whether we have had that discussion or not.
We now have predictions for next episode of the Six Pack Podcast.
I can't do predictions of both these podcasts. I'll go crazy.
All right.
I don't know what I'm going to say next.
Cool. Okay. So, we have a very nice GIF of Harry, the DM
he
here.
does the soft
a few of these things have Yeah, we'll just make sure that the Ben one is
Oh,
also
yeah.
also in.
Oh god.
Yeah. Quite a number of things happening this month, including the Funko Pop Instagram competition, which is currently live. And I believe there is a special one happening on Patreon. So if you are subscribed to the Patreon, you can go there and participate.
Yes, they have instructions of what they would like you to do, and it sounds really fun and easy. I was thinking about it today myself.
Yeah.
It's till the 17th, so get cracking, gang. You
Get
have
your-
till
Oh
St.
gosh, that's
Patrick's
only 6
Day.
days.
You have until Aoife's Day. Get it together.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Just the one more episode left in March, which will be next Tuesday. We are recording this on the 11th of March, Action Surge Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
Make
think
sure
that's
you
it.
watch Action Surge and leave a comment and like. I have it playing in the background right now on mute, so I have no idea when it will be over. But good job, me. I'll comment later.
Loyal
50
watcher.
55
Loyal,
minutes or
loyal
so.
supporter.
I can't be. I was gonna say loyal supporter, yes. Loyal watcher, no, because I ain't watching it. I'm here with you guys.
I watched it, a couple days after the episode, I think. Very good. We do have some other news,
Yes, we do.
which might be important for certain individuals who shall remain nameless, whose name is Shan.
Yeah.
And over here, we got this lovely announcement here about certain individuals who might be going to PAX East.
Yeah.
Audio listeners, the people being questioned, the people being spoken of, is very specifically in a so the background is like abstract white and black kind of like sort of art. There's like a bit of street art on like the bottom left that says PAX '25.
Wow.
In the center middle, there is like a nice sort of black frame with like a red border around it, and inside that border are the gang of Natural Six, and there is text that says Natural Six cast: Harry McIntyre, Aoife Wilson, Alex Jordan, Ben Starr, Doug Cockle, and Holly Bennett. No full stop though. And at the bottom it says PAX East May. What is actually the date? Is it 8th?
It's the 8th to the 11th.
Oh, 8th to the 11th. Yeah.
8th-11, 2025. And then a website link, which I actually can't read because my internet's being internet now. Thank you, audio listeners.
That's 8 out of 10 audio description.
I'd say about 8 out of 10 as
8
well.
out of 10, yeah. Please do not read the comments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Shan?
I'm excited because last
Live
year
Shan reaction.
live Shan reaction. So last year I went with my friend Cassandra, and then we met up with one of my other friends because they announced that there was going to be a Final Fantasy 16 panel, which was very exciting for us at the time because it was about the final DLC. So we were like, oh, well, we can go. We'll just go for the day. You know, it's great. Friday's not sold out because normally every Saturday sells out. We'll just go. And we ended up meeting Ben. I missed Aoife. I also had a killer migraine. I literally started developing a migraine literally right before we saw Ben because I remember it because I was trying to dry swallow a Excedrin on the show floor because I ran out of water, and and I was so embarrassed because I couldn't hear Ben because again I was suffering from a migraine. I didn't hear him say it was Aoife, and I was just like I went like, oh, where is he? He was like, well, she. I don't think, again, he didn't know, and I wasn't about to tell him I'm dying. But, you know, between all the event stuff, I tried to go over to Larian because Larian was right next to Final Fantasy 14. And I kept trying to go over, and by the time I finally, did a few loops, it looked like she had already left for the day, and I was like, no. So, this is my opportunity for redemption. We decided to go back. Like we talked about, let's all go next time. We'll get a hotel, blah, blah. And I posted about it in the server a month or two ago. And Holly hearted it, and I have been suspicious ever since. Because what business does Holly have? Well, I mean, except for the fact that she works for Square Enix, but what business does she have hearting PAX? So I was like, well, if anything, maybe Holly will be there for PAX stuff or for Square Enix stuff. So I have been super suspicious, and I made a thread on the Discord for us to all plan, and then it all came together, and PAX just announced without telling them that they were coming. So I win today and every day. But I'm very excited. I have a 4-day badge because I can pretty much do whatever I want. I'll be in the city itself from Friday to Sunday, and then if I want to do Thursday, maybe. But I usually, I'll probably be driving up to Connecticut and then going from there. But yeah, I'm excited. Like PAX. I'm excited to see. Because I wasn't going for anything specific originally. So now I was trying to see like, oh, well, I guess I'll do whatever when I get there this time. And now I guess I'll be doing Natural Six stuff. Holly did say, for anyone interested, it sounds like somebody or somebody's will not be there, like perhaps for the entirety of Sunday, if Sunday at all. So if you want to do everything, because she said they've been asked to do a few things, because I'm literally referencing stuff she sent in the PAX group chat. So if anyone wants any information, it's in that thread under meetups and conventions. But she said, they're like asked about like a live show, meet and greet, whatever. So like the kind of probably stuff in the similar vein from EGX. And so Sunday will probably be individual meet and greet stuff for people, like she referenced Doug, Alex, Harry. But like Natural Six group stuff will probably be between Thursday and Saturday. And in case anyone who's listening is curious, she said they will not be bringing merch for like there is the reason to me is kind of obvious, but it might not be everybody else's. Customs and visas, bringing merch to sell across the ocean into another country. And there's no time for that. I mean, famous performers can't even get visas to come here half the time in time for tours. Like, it ain't worth it. Better for them just to come do whatever they would like to do. So there will not be any merch like physically at the convention, unlike EGX, because there is an extra layer of work that they have to do so. But we can meet them. American fans everywhere rejoice. Well, East Coast fans rejoice. So
even though they won't have any physical merch, do you think they'll have spiritual merch? As
I mean, they heal my spirit, so to me that is merch.
There you go.
But she said they're hoping to know the schedule by April 4th. So we'll see. As we discussed before the show, big conventions like this wait as long as possible to announce their schedules because they want to have them set in stone and not have to make too many cancellation movement announces. It's a lot of panels. It's a big convention. They like to get their little ducks in rows before they say anything. New York Comic Con's the exact same thing. And it's especially New York Comic Con because you have massive stars there. Sometimes we just gotta be patient, and then we'll plan, and we'll have a good time. I think we'll have a great time. Boston in May is beautiful, so I think we'll have a great time.
Hell yeah! Well, I'm very happy for you, Shan.
Thank you. I stay winning. Eagles win the Super Bowl.
You are winning.
It's
only happened because the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Exactly, and we also sacrificed our basketball team, the Sixers. We sacrificed them to win the Super Bowl because they suck right now. So okay. I think I'm scared to find out what we sacrificed to get Natural Six here. But we can worry about that later. That's also why I insist on calling us the Natty Sixers, even though I know Harry hates it. Not Harry the mod, Harry the DM hates Natty Sixers. It's because I have a spiritual, emotional attachment to the word Sixers. It's what we call our basketball team, the 76ers. And I call them that as a joke. Obviously we're the six pack, but I like Natty Sixers because it's funny to me. It's just funny to me. And I will send everybody the Charles Barkley dancing in a Sixers jersey gif if they want to fight me, because I just think it's funny. Natty Sixers for life, baby.
I don't think anybody wants to fight you, Shan.
No, I'd win.
Important
lose.
question.
Yes.
Yes, Harry.
Hit us.
Important question. So,
Yeah.
are you going to be wearing anything Eagles related at the PAX, or are you going to be wearing Natural Six merch at PAX?
Well, I'll definitely wear my Natural Six shirts. I don't think I can wear the beanie. May is not that cold. Even in Boston, I think it will be pleasant, but I may bring a baseball cap or two, maybe the Go Birds cap, maybe, to keep the sun off my nose, because I do think the reason I forgot I got a little tiny bit of sunburn at the zoo yesterday. But I need to protect this fair Irish skin. So I might wear an Eagles cap, but also it won't be Eagles season. So like if I wear Eagles, it will be more chill. Maybe a t-shirt, but I only have 2 Natural Six shirts. So like that only covers 2 days, you know?
Do they have Eagle seasons then in America? Like, are they seasonal?
The football seasons are seasonal. Eagles are eternal.
Oh no.
I think they only have
around
eggs.
that time,
one
it'll
time
be
of
Phillies
year,
time.
when the weather's
Interesting.
nice. But I'll have to look up Eagles for next time. Put that on your prediction, whether Shannon remembers to learn something.
Though
I will say,
unique about
this
Eagles.
is my last thing. It's just related to you asked about Eagles. I went to the zoo yesterday, and all I wanted to do was see the eagle and go birds to the eagle. And all the birds are put away because of the bird flu. So he wasn't there.
Oh.
And that's the main reason I wanted to be there. So we got to stop the spread of bird flu so the Philadelphia Eagle can literally come back.
It's important stuff.
It feels like karma.
By May,
like
it will
karma.
definitely baseball season will be in swing. Shan will be rooting
Don't
for
know
the
if we have
Phillies.
any more news though, but I mean that's pretty big news. Harry, you coming?
Huh? To what? To what?
To PAX?
Are
you gonna
there
fly
is
here?
I absolutely cannot possibly afford to fly to America.
No, I mean Boston specific. That place is expensive.
I appreciate the offer. I will have to decline, both
One
on
day.
principle and on financial basis. One day.
On principle, what you got against Boston?
I don't think I'd survive.
Boston.
I don't
is
know.
not
So
a
like,
vibe.
so I am in like this Monster of the Week game.
Okay.
I'm
That refers to Boston.
I'm in this Monster of the Week game. Boston's in New York, right? Or am I just
No.
said something incredibly stupid? Oh no.
No, Boston is
I
in
just hit
Massachusetts.
the microphone.
Picture
It's going
this.
over.
Picture
Uh-huh.
this. Hold on. I want to make sure I look appropriate here. This is the United States. I'm probably backwards, but picture this.
Yeah.
California. Okay,
Yeah.
up here. So this part, the very northern little arm on the East Coast, that's called New England.
Yeah.
And that is farther north than New York, the state. New York, the state. I need to make that
Okay.
very clear.
What about
They
the
want
city?
you to make that very clear. Yeah, New York City and New York State. So
Okay.
Boston,
What's the difference?
New York City is a city. It's a tiny part
Yes.
of New York State. New York
Of
State's
southern
big.
New York.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yes, and New York City
Good.
is nestled in the south corner,
Mm-hmm.
South of the
like
south
the
corner of the
southeast
north.
corner of the state.
The southeast
Yes.
corner of the state, which is in the north.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called Mid-Atlantic.
Okay, cool.
So
Brilliant.
from like Maryland-ish to New York. So I'm considered Mid-Atlantic. Pennsylvania's Mid-Atlantic. So then once you get northeast of New York, because New York kind of has a wall, like it's shaped kind of straight here. Once you get northeast, you have like Rhode Island, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire,
Yes.
and then Massachusetts.
Okay.
Massachusetts is where Boston is.
Awesome.
that's
Yeah,
where, like,
Boston, Massachusetts. They say that in like words
shipping
together.
up to Boston, like
Mhm.
by the Dropkick Murphys. They're going to Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So it is a different place than New York. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I got it confused with something from the steamed hams like thing.
Okay.
You know, like the steamed hams thing where they're talking about the thing. Like
Wait, there's
they,
what
it's
do
like
you mean? What thing?
in steamed hams, like
Okay.
when Lieutenant Superintendent Chalmers gets his like is like catching onto it, and he's like doesn't Skinner say like, you know, steamed hams? That's like a New York expression. Does he say that? Fudge, am I just like imagining things?
No, because I've heard this before,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to remember
Okay,
where.
okay, sorry. I just thought I was being like gaslit into like this, like
No, you
about
know
like steamed
what?
hams. But yeah.
Wasn't it like a story that somebody told during the Final Fantasy 16 stream?
About steamed hams?
But they thought it was something else. Like steamed clams or something.
Yeah. It's steamed hams, but basically no. But
Okay.
the story is basically
I'm
no,
looking this
is
up on
that
my
Skinner
phone, by
said
the way.
that he was making steamed clams. That's why the
Okay.
oven was on fire.
Yes.
Then when
I've
he
heard
went and he
this
went to
story,
Krusty
yes.
Burger, he went and got the Krusty Burger, and then Chalmers was like, "This isn't steamed clams." He's like, "No, I said steamed hams."
Yes.
That's like
from
a New York expression.
The Simpsons.
yeah, from the
It's a
Simpsons.
gag from the Simpsons.
It's a gag. It's a short.
It's a gag from
don't
the
think-
Simpsons.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
I think. Oh, it's something from upstate New York.
Yeah.
That's weird. Why did
Okay.
they do that?
I don't
That's
think they actually
ugly.
do.
So
Do they not?
Hold on. Well, no, I
Fundament-
looked it up.
fundamentally, Harry, New York State.
Unless they don't
is
do it and somebody's
massive.
doing a gag, but
Yeah,
like
I have.
no, it says somebody said according to the Oxford Encyclopedia or something.
This
the
is my
terms-
worst derailing yet. There
It
is a
was
point that we're going to get back to this. It's going to be extremely funny.
In the supposed regional dialect of Albany was coined on the American sitcom. Yeah, maybe not. But like then how does it become like this thing that
Because I thought he said
This is-
Boston. Here's the thing. I thought in that
Okay.
clip they said something about Boston, and they didn't. I got it
They
confused
didn't.
completely. I
Boston-
apologize to Massachusetts. I apologize to New York State and New York City. Because
So-
and I apologize to you, Shan, and
it's
you, Doc, as
okay.
well. Because
It's all good.
where this was going was
Yep. I'm waiting.
I wouldn't survive in Boston
Right.
because in this Monster of the Week game that I play in, we play. It's basically kind of, you know, either like kind of a Scooby-Doo style like thing,
right?
set in New York City, just modern day New York City. So I, being me, obviously who knows nothing about New York City because I just thought Boston was in it,
Right.
or the state. I don't know what one of them. I am also have now been on this podcast probably blacklisted from New York as a concept. So oops.
I can't
what?
speak for them.
What? I just decided to basically play a character called Arthur Johnson, who was just a Fortnite YouTuber turned 3 a.m. challenge YouTuber. Who was basically just me. Who was basically just me. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this experiment. Like, could I survive New York? And like, I was playing with a bunch of New Yorkers to clarify. All of them, they, you know New York. It was wild. It was wild and confusing. So that's where this was going.
Wow.
Yes.
Excellent, Harry. I'm assuming you can hear me.
I can hear you. Yes.
Good. Shan can apparently not hear me.
Okay, so here's the thing. The technical difficulties started once we started answering the question about Eagles, and I'm like worried about the Eagles. I'm worried about like mentioning about the Eagles, like censorship is happening like live on air. We are being censored live on air by the Eagles.
Why would they censor? Why
I
would
don't
they
know.
censor me? They should be censoring me.
Because they don't want the truth to come out.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Shan's
But
going to
yes.
rejoin us.
How do you feel about we're not going to talk about Eagles because that will break everything.
How do I feel about the last
Yeah.
several minutes?
Yeah.
Me trying to cover for Doc because I thought he died. So I
was
was
here.
like, I'm gonna waste time till Doc comes back.
I was
I
here
was just
the
sitting
whole
there
time.
marveling at how ruined, how derailed we are.
I was there.
I was just trying to help.
Believe me, I was there the whole time.
I was trying to move us on because I thought you were gone, and so I was like, let's move on. And then he asked me a question. I was like, oh, we can't go anywhere.
We cannot go anywhere.
We can't go anywhere.
So, in summary, yes, New York State is massive. Boston is on the very East Coast there, and can be rough around that time, weather-wise. It can be very, very hot and humid in May in Boston. But we have established Harry is not going to be there. I will, unfortunately, be there a week before on business.
That's so sad.
So I will not be able to... I will have used up my single parenting currency, and I will not be attending PAX East. In fact, I can't... it's got to be 10 years plus since I've been to a PAX. So would have been nice to go, but not this time, I'm afraid. Shan, are you going to... do you have any news for listeners and Discord folks about organized get-togethers, etc.?
So not yet.
Okay.
Basically what I've said in the chat, because I've said it twice. I said it originally and then I said it again recently now that more people have joined. So I'm going to run some polls eventually. Probably now that Holly has like some idea of when they're supposed to know their schedule. Once we know the schedule, I'll start doing some polls about what day people would like what the best day for everyone would be, what the best time would be. Because I kind of don't want to start doing that unless we know like when things are.
Of course, yeah, you need to know
because
the schedule,
everybody,
yeah.
right, and everybody will want to go to stuff. But we do have that chat at least set up so everybody can kind of talk about their travel plans and whatnot. Holly linked it in the announcement, which I was like, yeah, that was me, baby, because I just was gonna go. It was very funny. I made that before I knew that they were coming, so I was just like, hey, if anybody wants to go and meet up, here's this chat. Because I've like I said in the chat, long time users of the Natural Six server will know every time I go to a convention, I ask if there's anybody else there, and nobody ever responds. And so I just go about my day by myself.
Do your thing.
So this time, though, it's time. I'm doing it. I'm doing it live. So I will. We'll have some polls and stuff set up.
Excellent.
Once we have more information. Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Yes. Please
Cool.
look forward to it.
I think we can
Move on.
move on. Yes.
I hope you liked my geography lesson, though, where I tried to
still
form the
here
United
at this
States.
point,
I tried really hard to help him.
If you're still here at this point, thank you.
And I'm sorry.
And we're gonna move swiftly on.
Yeah.
To what we've been doing lately. Would you like to go first, Jen?
Sure. I'll try and be quick. So I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14, but this time I'm farming Mog Tomes. Because I want to get all the goodies that I get for farming Mog Tomes. So I have not progressed in the story. I've been grinding on Fisherman for days. I'm now level 76. Because Mog Tomes, basically, they give you randomized dungeons and trials and like little side projects you can go do to earn them. And I was gatekept out of the first 2 weeks because I wasn't far enough in MSQ to do those things. So I was trying to do whatever items I could do, which is why I grinded on Fisherman. So I can finally do them this week. So I already did one. I'm going to do the other one later tonight. But yeah, I'm always having the time of my life when I play 14, you know. It is what it is. I finished Mad Men. Me and my friend finally finished watching all 7 seasons of Mad Men. And Excellent show.
Great show.
Great.
Yep.
John Hamm deserved more Emmys than he got, but it's because it was running at the same time as Breaking Bad. So they kept giving them to the Breaking Bad cast. I'm glad I got it I'm glad he got it eventually, but it kind of felt like we haven't given you one yet, so here you go. Because I think he deserved it more for earlier season performances, but it's fine. It's a great show. John Hamm's great. My two favorite characters that I was hoping would get together got together. I was like manifesting the whole time they were like on the show together, and I got what I wanted. Stan and Peggy forever. And yeah, so that was fun. Been watching Abbott Elementary. Can't recommend Abbott Elementary enough. It is a ABC sitcom, half hour. It's about teachers at an elementary school in West Philadelphia. Created by Quinta Brunson, famous for the one I remember the most is the movie theater one, like when he gets the big popcorn, she goes, "Oh, he got money." So if you've ever seen that skit, or like there's one in a restaurant where I can't quote it because it's got a curse word in it, but like the boy does something at a restaurant, and she like creates all these duplicates of herself doing this weird dance. It's great. Just look up Quinta Brunson. She's funny as anything. The show is hysterical, even from a non-Philadelphian's perspective. I watch it with a British person who's never been to Philadelphia, and he loves it. But it gives you kind of an insight as to why I am the way I am. We're all like this. But the archetypes are fun. Like, we have very interesting archetypes, and I love when I get to like see people I know in these people. And my friend Nia says it's the first like Philadelphia media where she sees like her friends and stuff represented in something. Like, it feels like really from Philly. And it's probably because it's written by Quinta Brunson, who's from Philadelphia. But it's great. The cast is great. The jokes are great. Like, I just can't recommend it enough. I don't know where it is around the world, so I don't know where I can recommend to watch it. But it's great. If you ever get a chance, watch Abbott Elementary. And then last but not least, I got my merch.
Yay!
Yeah, I already had this hat. I'm wearing it because it's kind of cold in the basement. And also because I worked for like 4 hours this morning and I didn't feel like dealing with my hair or wearing more Eagles gear and being annoying about the Eagles for one day. I was like, for one day, I will not be annoying about the Philadelphia Eagles. So I was like, I'll do natural 6 today. So yeah.
Excellent.
That's it. That's me.
Are you happy about the Oscars?
Yes, for the most part. Like, I had very little to complain about. I'll put it that way. Like, there's some stuff where it's like, I would have gone a little different, but I'm not mad about it. I was shocked Anora won as many as it did. I liked Anora. That's not like a knock on Anora. I'm just kind of shocked. But I think part of that was, I think the storm around Amelia Perez kind of had people voting a little bit differently. It also was a tolerable length. It was very funny. I'm just surprised. Obviously, like, the day after the Oscars is like hell for anybody who likes movies because all people do is talk about how their favorite should have won and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't agree with Timothée Chalamet should have won. Sorry, I don't. He's great in the movie, but the Bob Dylan doesn't have an arc in the movie. Like, he does, but it's not like, you don't get to see him do more. He's just doing Bob Dylan.
Yep.
And I had somebody fight me on that I said I didn't think he was like, I thought Boyd Holbrook did a better Johnny Cash than Timothée Chalamet did Bob Dylan. That's not a knock on Timothée Chalamet. He was more convincing as the person he was, because I can't unsee Timothée Chalamet, and you can't do Bob Dylan's voice. Nobody can. That's why Bob Dylan is who he is. Nobody can do what Bob Dylan does. So it's like, it's a good movie, but I agree. I would have given it to Adrian Brody. People blame Adrian Brody for the AI thing. He had nothing to do with that. And he still had an excellent performance despite them tweaking his accent a couple of times. You don't even know when they do it. So, like, how would you know? You wouldn't know unless he admitted that he did it. So, Adrian Brody, I think, was a fine win. I would have been happy with Ray Fiennes, too, because I loved Conclave. I would have been fine if Conclave won more awards. I loved Conclave. But there was only, like, one egregious movie considered this year, and that was Amelia Perez. I really don't think Zoe Saldana should have won. I wanted her to win an award for like at some point, but this ain't it. And she said some pretty annoying things when she was getting interviewed afterwards about how people feel about this movie. So like, yeah, not happy with that one. I think that's the one that makes me like the most angry, that you don't get an award for being the best part of a terrible movie because she's not even that good. I don't recommend watching Amelia Perez, by the way, to find out. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. You deserve better. Look, I'm looking in the camera. Don't do this to yourselves. Don't watch Amelia Perez. If you're listening to this, don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah, I was pretty annoyed about that.
Too late, Shan.
He's gonna watch Amelia Perez tonight.
Already watched it.
Now, what did you think? Okay, what did you think of Amelia Perez?
Um,
Not the
So I feel like we've derailed this enough with I didn't dislike it. I didn't think it was like the worst thing ever.
It's a well-made movie. It's
there's
just
certain
not
films,
good.
okay, that I can watch, and there are parts of Severance that are like this for me. Is that I'm just there for the cinematography, and that's it. I'm not there for anything else.
Is a beautiful
and some of the
movie,
performances, like I'm just there for that.
It's nice to look at.
Right.
Yeah. It's nice
so
to look at.
there's a bit of that in it. But yeah, I think it should have won, 11 Oscars? No. But yeah, I didn't think it was a bad film. So yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah.
To be honest. Go.
Oh.
Harry, save us.
Yeah. So, like, Amelia Perez, it's got like Selena Gomez in it, right? That's all I know about it.
Yes.
That's all I know. That's genuinely all I know about it. It's like,
Yes.
Selena Gomez is in that movie.
She is in it. Yep. She certainly is.
Cool.
Yep.
Anyway,
that was not a throw to you to talk about Amelia Perez.
No.
by the way.
Don't worry. I know nothing about. About it. I've just been nodding along.
Right.
Go ahead.
So
What have you
this
been doing?
week,
Yeah.
so not just this week, like the past few things, but I've not talked about it. So I've been on my Super Smash Brothers arc. I've been kind of getting into a bit of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. So shout out to Dundee Fundies, which is a really fun thing that one of my friends runs. It's like a weekly Smash Bros tournament that happens every week, and I joined it because I was like, it would be really funny if I surprise my friend by just like joining his Smash Bros like competition and just being the worst thing ever. Because when I've played against him or played with him, having not played any Super Smash Brothers before, I forgot what characters were even in the game, to be perfectly honest. Because it's been years. I watched the trailers and all that. I was excited for everything. I was excited for your Minecraft Steve. Although everyone does hate Minecraft Steve now. That's a thing. Minecraft Steve is overpowered in Super Smash Brothers, apparently. So worth noting that.
Good to know.
But yeah, I just kind of had to like forgot everything and was like learning everything new. And there's like reasons why I wanted to play a bit of Smash Bros. Because I mean, as like a game designer and that kind of thing, I always kind of think of the fun idea of like, man, what if I could just like do, I don't know, a Rivals of Aether or like, Smash Bros style like mod for like a fighting game, because Smash Bros is a very accessible fighting game in terms of like for me, or for just how the characters are designed and also how the system works. It has like a sort of low barrier to entry, but the skill ceiling is
very
so high.
Yeah.
It's so high you get knocked off the stage and lose a stock. Funny joke. But yeah, when I've played Super Smash Bros with kids, like learn this, he said your best matchup is against the training bag, because there's like a training bag when you change your controls to like test out the controls.
Wow.
Because I have some insanely silly controller setups. Like at some point I was having like my attacks be on the shoulder buttons and like on the shoulders and back ones, and I was just having every face button be jumping. I went on a thing where I was like, we don't need shields. Don't worry. I don't need a shield. no shields, nothing like that. I've since learned that was a bad idea, but no. Anyway, I've been playing that. I've been just having a really good time. Like, I've been playing against, like, you know, people who are like the best in Scotland and like really high up in like EU rankings, and they're just absolutely styling on me. I have gone 0 for 3. I have lost every single game I've played so far, and I've just been laughing the entire time because there are some goofy, silly things that happen in them. I'm learning how to play Lucina's because, you know, Fire Emblem Awakening, pretty good game, and also she's nice. She's an honest character to learn. Very honest. No shenanigans. You've not got, like, I don't know, Wario throwing a bike at you and every 2 minutes just farting on you and you die. That's a real thing. That's a real attack. Someone did that to me and I was like, what the fudge?
I believe it.
You're not a follow the flowchart gamer?
I don't know the flowchart. I don't know what the flowchart is. Like, someone picked Snake against me, and I said, "Oh fudge! I forgot Snake was in this game."
That will mean something to fighting game aficionados who are listening. To everyone else, they'll be asking, "What the hell is he talking about?" No, I'm happy for you, Harry.
Yeah. I got my first win.
Yes.
Of a game, live on freaking stream.
Live on Twitch.
Live on stream, live on Twitch, on a VOD.
Mm-hmm.
And I did actually send it. I did actually send it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, well, so we're not going to watch it. Yes, we're not going to be watching it.
Are
yes.
we not going to watch it? Are you
can
sure
we watch it?
Watch it?
We
yeah,
can
please,
watch
can we
it?
watch it? Okay.
Yeah.
Audio
watch
listeners,
it.
it's going to be the worst experience.
We can.
We're
watch
gonna
it.
have to like.
I've clipped it to the best point.
Okay,
No.
okay,
I've clipped it to the one point. So
Okay. I'm
You'll have
excited.
to resend me the clip, I think, though, Harry.
it's in the no.
Is it
I
in the
remember
secret
when
chat?
you sent it.
There you go. I mean, I just put it in the document. I've time coded it to the correct one.
You cut the clip on...
You just put it in there, but you didn't say what it was.
Yeah. I put it in there.
Okay, one moment.
He was like, "I'm just gonna put."
You
this
could
link.
play it without audio, by the way, but I think the audio is no copyright because I don't know.
The only issue with this here is advertising, but
Oh, come on, Dundee Fundies need all they can get. There's no advertising.
Okay, I'm gonna full screen that.
This one's for the
let's see it.
video watchers.
Yep. We're gonna switch to the screen share so that we can see what's going on.
Yeah, you just have to
And
watch like the next 10 seconds, I think.
I have muted, and you can see on the right hand side here, in the bottom right hand corner, lovely Harry the Mutt.
Very
we're gonna
well
press
lit.
play.
Yes, like ominously lit.
And you are Doughballs here, correct?
Yes. So yeah, I'm Doughballs because like when my friend Ollie stayed around the flat, it's called the Doughball Demolisher. That's the clip. That's the clip. Okay, so that was my first ever win. That was my audio listeners. This guy, Prog. Hello, Prog. I hope you're listening to this because I'm absolutely clipping this for the Smash Ultimate Scotland Discord. So Prog, I was playing against him, like, you know, on stream. And moments before this happened, he said in between games, do you know about teching, which is like a thing you can do? I said no because I'm like learning, and he was like, "Oh, Kier taught you nothing about this game," which was incredibly funny and toxic. And so he told me like, "Oh yeah, you press like shield when you're about to like hit a surface really hard, and you'll basically get back up really quick."
Yep.
And in that clip, my first ever win of a game of Super Smash Brothers live on the freaking stream as well. He was playing Donkey Kong, absolute hubris. I hit the Doughball special, which is holding a forward smash for no reason, in a position that won't hit anything. So he walks up, he grabs hold of me as Donkey Kong. He jumps off of the edge and basically throws me at the wall to style kill me. I hit a tech against the wall and do the best move possible, which is instantly up B, which kills him. And that was such a moment that I have set that as like my profile picture on start.gg as well, just to troll him. And yeah, shout out to Prog. You got completely like owned in the marketplace of ideas. Yes. So I feel very accomplished by that. Didn't win the set. I'll get into it. I'll get there. I'll get there one day, and then next time I'll friggin' be here and be like, I am going to be the next freaking. I'm going to be like the next big thing. I'm leaving game development. I'm gonna be MK Leo 2. That's who I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be Smash Bros.
Pro gamer Harry. You heard it here first.
Very-
Very good. You also cooked some chicken, apparently.
Yeah. Last time we were talking about like General Tso's like chicken, because like my mum makes General Tso's chicken, so he kind of like nicknamed her style like General Joe's chicken because it's really nice. Audio listeners, sorry about this. This is nice General Joe's chicken. And I'm just gonna I'm showing my phone towards the screen right now. It's not focusing, but
no, it's not.
trust me, it looks good.
It's looking good.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It's spicy because I accidentally put I think I put like incredibly hot like Naga chili like pepper sauce instead of just like hot chili sauce. That's supposed to be like sweet chili sauce actually. So it's quite spicy, but it's good. And like 20 minutes ago, I touched my eye with one of my fingers that I'd been cooking with.
Oh god.
So anyway, that's what's been with my week.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harry, Smash Bros. Pro, rookie in the kitchen.
First. Doughballs.
Rookie
The Doughball
chili.
Demolisher.
Rookie in the kitchen.
I cook at 180 degrees or percent.
Oh wait, I did forget something. It's related to 14. I made Elowen in 14.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
excellent.
I needed to go to my friend's wedding, and I didn't know
Thank
you
you for
have to have
pivoting.
a character on that
Oh.
on that world.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, what should I do? And I was like, I'm gonna make one of my Nat 6 alts. So I threw her together like so fast. So like I asked people to be honest about her, and nobody sent me their honest opinion. So I'm guessing she looks great. She's in the Final Fantasy 14 channel. To save on time, I won't grab a picture of her for you to show. We can do that another time. Because I'll even get my picture of Radian, because I made Radian before. My goal is to eventually make the whole squad. I'll find a way. I know we don't have every race, but I'll find a way. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
Excellent.
I made her.
Thank you for managing to pivot this to natural 6 somewhat.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Listen, it's because I meant to bring it up. That's why I put 14, but like I was trying to type quietly because I know my keyboard is very loud because it's right under my microphone.
There was also
So I typed FF14 and then forgot to type why I put it in there.
why you put it in. There was also a 14 meetup, I believe.
Yes, there was.
And there will continue to
yes.
be further meetups. So
Good,
if
'cause
you
I missed it.
So if you want to do a Natural 6 fans meetup,
I'll bring Elo in.
there are meetups.
Or Radiant.
Um,
Bring Radiant and jump scare everyone.
I believe being organized in the video games channel
Mm-hmm.
on Discord. Cool. I will try and bring us home so that we can
Yes. I'll send her to you guys, but we
get
can show her
on
off another
to
day.
our art showcase, which is full today.
Yes.
Of good stuff.
Lots of good art today.
I have been progressing my Final Fantasy VII Rebirth playthrough. I'm on Chapter 7. I'm
Final Fantasy 7 Chapter 7.
getting there. My goal is still to finish before Expedition 33 comes out.
So soon. It's so soon.
So yeah, I got like 6 weeks, so should be
Yes.
fine. Played some other indie stuff, including playing Tunic with my daughter, which is fun. Very nice game. Currently on sale on GOG. Bought a version for her so she can play it on her own. And what else was I doing? Some other indies.
See, everybody else forgets too. That's why
Yeah.
we gotta put it in the notes.
I'd have
But
to
then
look
you
at
put
my-
it in the notes and you forget why you put it there in the
Why you
first
put it-
place.
I'd have to look at my Steam history. It's been busy the last week or so. So yeah, that's it for me, really. The other thing I've been doing is supporting the family members who have some new dogs on the farm. The pics are in the Discord if you want to check out some cool puppies
I want to see some
in Portugal.
dogs.
You can do that. Otherwise, that's it. I think. Right on. I think we can do some art showcasing.
Look at
Oh,
these
hell
dogs.
yes.
Sorry, I just saw the dogs. Oh, anyway.
Very cute. Yes.
Very cute.
Right. Art showcasing. We're gonna move to a screen share, and we got a lovely item here.
Yeah.
This is from Jasper, who is, I believe, a friend of Harry's.
Yes. Yes, this is Jasper. Jasper
cool.
did this.
I recognize this moment.
Yes.
This is a pretty epic moment. I don't know if we've discussed this before, but the sort of the entirety of episode 1 and 2 is one of the reasons why I joined the Discord in the first place, was just to kind of give my thoughts and congratulate the crew on what they were doing, because it was a pretty amazing start to the campaign. So yeah, very cool stuff from Jasper there. Thank you very much for letting us show it.
Yeah, thank you, Jasper.
Thank you.
Yeah, he pitched me on this this a couple times, but he just never got around the opportunity to making it. So I'm glad he did. I really like the hair. He wanted to do an interpretation of how he imagined Thealon and some of the gods and different characters who haven't gotten a lot of art associated with them could look. And he was like, hey, because we've only got those descriptions to work on, he's got a bit of artistic liberty to have a crack at it. So that's why I want to do monochromatic, bit of golden glowy hair. I think it looks cool. It looks pretty odd, pretty
very stylized.
Yes, that's it. Very moody,
Very
serious
cool.
Kel, the one we know and love.
Right. We got TobyBird, who had a couple. I chose this one. It's quite the
hell yeah,
quite the statement.
Shadow cast by the newly dead, or shadow cast by the newly dead is longer than the web is wide.
Yeah.
That's a really friggin' good quote. This is cool. Very cool. Is this kind of is that Castle Grenwood in the background? Oh no, that's the Mount Atria in the background.
Yeah, I feel like it is. I'm not sure on the setting necessarily here. We'd have to ask TobyBird themselves on the exact setting, but yeah. I'm partial to a good pencil drawing. I like that medium quite a lot. And I do like the web W's as well.
The W's.
Very cool. Very nice.
Quite nice.
Yeah.
Nice. If you want to check out some of the other art and stuff that TobyBird is doing, you can check them out on Bluesky. There. The link is there. Cool. Moving swiftly on. This will be a multi-part, I think. This one.
Oh.
We got horses. So Horse has done lots of different types of art, including the Discord emotes,
the Discord emojis. Yes.
I think all the Discord emotes.
Little guys.
So this is pixel art, which they had, I think, done previously at Catch's request, because they were doing this.
Yeah.
Oh,
some
hell
cross,
yeah.
Some cross stitch action.
So yes, Ketch's
yes.
cross stitch is pretty cool. I'm loving a little
Little you.
yeah,
Little you.
like having something tactile. I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lots of art that we've seen, but having something tactile is cool. I think that's why people appreciate some of the stuff that Rania has done as well, where it's actually, you can touch it, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
So little
Physical art,
combination
pretty
between Horse there and Ketcha,
Hell yeah.
which is cool.
Also, description for audio listeners. Like pixel art of eye that's like kind of in, I believe, a 32 by 32 canvas or 64 by 64. I could be roasted for not getting that correct. One of those. Probably 64 by 64,
Do we need to count the pixels, Harry?
That would make awesome riveting gameplay. 32 by 32, I
Looks
think.
like
Riveting
32, yeah.
gameplay.
Yeah, this
he
is 32
said.
32.
Riveting
gameplay.
Riveting gameplay on the podcast.
Looks 32 to me,
Yeah.
but yeah.
We've got the People's Princess Eye in pretty
Princess
cool pixel
Diana.
art format.
Mhm.
And like I think the pixel art comes out really, really nicely in the
Yeah.
the cross stitching.
The cross stitching, yeah,
With
definitely.
the little addition of you. So we've got I and you. Yeah. Both combined. Pretty cool stuff. Technically probably
sir.
one of the first you arts. Pretty swell.
So not only do we have some I and U art, but we also have
Oh my god.
Horse's Radian,
The people's enemy.
the people's
Oh
enemy.
hell yeah. This guy is in a freaking Final Fantasy, like the classic Final Fantasies. This guy is in turn-based combat. This guy has active time battle.
This guy has a lot of issues.
Lots of issues. He's the hardest character to play, right?
He's the hardest character to play because like
So-
you can't control him. You just suggest things for him to do.
No. So additional pixel art, but then of course, not only do we have guys Catches, I, and you cross stitch, but we also have the Radiant cross
Oh my
stitch
god, he's
as
here.
well with
He's here. Radiant's here.
the eyes in glittery.
Oh fudge!
Thread.
Yeah, I see.
So
Oh,
you
that's
can see
super
the
neat.
eyes in glittery thread
Radiant
there.
can't hurt you. He's real now. He's physical.
Yep, he's there.
Watch out, everybody.
Watch out.
He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you.
Yep. Lastly,
It's real.
from Horse
He's
and
real. They
Beak.
are real.
So very cool stuff from the both of them. Lastly, from Horse and this is animated. If you want to see it on the Discord, these are all the frames. There is animated characters here.
Well, guys.
Animated
which is very
description.
cool.
Cute little chibi renditions of all the party walking with life-size accurate accurate height, including little Harry on a motor on like a little
On a
like
little
a tricycle.
bicycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what that was.
Little Harry on a tricycle,
Oh, that's funny.
which is great.
Good stuff.
Very cool stuff. I look forward to seeing more examples of these little guys. We've got Dr. Wookie's, another doctor.
Oh, hell
We've got
yes.
Dr. Wookie's I and you here, which was
We get
quite cool.
more you fan art representation. Hell yeah.
Listen,
Yep.
I love them.
I do wonder about the size of this owl.
Is it meant to
though.
be? It's a burrowing owl, right? Aren't they
Yeah.
like? Aren't they livable?
So that's the only one about this one. But I've seen this issue of trying to get the size of, or get the proportion between the two things. Right, but very
only got
cool.
I've only got one
stuff.
thing to say
Especially
about
when you're
this.
doing digital drawing sometimes too.
Yeah, it's
Depending on
tricky.
what you're drawing on, it can be hard to make things like I've tried. It can be hard to make things really small.
Only thing I have to say
Go,
about
Harry.
this is Greg rules okay.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Very good. Keeping with the theme,
Oh my
we
god,
got
iPod.
ourselves a tiny you with some very large eyes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, tiny you. There's a nice
Reminds me
little
of those.
headshot illustration of I.
Mhm.
That is so freaking awesome.
That is very
Reminds me
cool
of those like
from
weird
Sharkly
beanie
here.
babies that they
Yeah.
do now with the big eyes.
Do they do Beanie Babies with large eyes now?
Yeah, so they have these I don't know if they're referred to as beanie babies, but Ty makes them. It's the same company. And they have like little bodies or whatever. They have body like, you know. And then they have big heads with like ginormous eyes. And I'm going to have to look up what they're called, but I don't love them. They creep me out a little bit because they have those giant eyes, like beanie babies. Yeah, they've got like, I'm going to try and show you what they look like from the Thai store. They're beanie, oh, this is beanie bundles. So I can't, but like, oh God, hold on.
Beanie Bundles.
Hold
Those
on.
look scary. Sure.
I can't. The pictures are clear because the whole website's
It's white on white.
So
right?
let's. Nope. Still.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, but
we're good.
they have giant eyes. Okay, and I don't know. Can you see his eyes? I mean, that's all you can see.
That's all you can
The
see. is
only
the
thing
eyes.
we
Yeah.
can see. Holy fudge.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
they have like big eyes now. Like I wish I could get like a good picture. Like, here's a tiger. Look at his eyes. They're big.
They're very large.
So yeah, that's what the you here reminds me of, which is fun. That's what owls look like. They got big old.
Yeah, they do. They got big eyes.
yeah.
For sure.
Spooky.
But yeah, like the we've got multiple I and you renditions here.
People just love I.
They do. We will finish with I think my favorites. Wyvvie's Dolly
Holy
here.
fudge.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very
That is
cool.
fabulous. That is fantastic. Wowzers.
And
She's killing it.
He's
you can
rocking the
check out
dress. Live
She
dress
is.
reaction.
Live dress
Live dress
reaction.
reaction.
Rate the
that
dress,
is-
everybody.
I think
There we
that
go.
might be. I think that might be a 10 out of 10 dress.
Yes.
I feel like
Also
it
the
is.
accessories, the little cape bit. I think it's very nicely draped.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Very cool. But not only did Wyvvie do Dolly, but they also did Eleven.
Yes.
Oh hell yes.
Yes.
I'm loving the things, the stuff around the periphery. It looks like
Yeah.
almost like a trading card, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
really cool.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool. If you want to check out Wyvvie's art, there's other stuff that they have done in the past. You can do so on Bluesky. The handle is there on screen. You'll have to, I'm not going to read it out for the audio listeners. You will have to check out the YouTube video to see that. Right. Very cool. We have not had a art showcase in a while. So it was cool to do that.
A lot of art. Good art, everybody. Good job.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Keep it coming. And I hope to be able to, I had a few people who did not reply for permission, which I will try to chase to see whether they would like to have their stuff shown. Lots of cool stuff there, which is great. Cool. I think we're here for the meat now, guys. We've had our starter. We've messed
Talk
about
about Eagles.
talked about Eagles.
Know a lot
Where
about
is
Eagles.
Boston on the map?
Yeah,
Selena
all of
Gomez is
that.
in Emilia Perez.
she sure is.
All of that stuff. Right. I think it's time for our spoliers.
Oh.
Spoliers. Spolwaz.
Yes. And this is the time where Harry goes and tells us what we
Oh
predicted.
yeah. It is. It is. Thank you for the prompt and the reminder. This wasn't me remembering. Oh fudge! Yeah, this is episode 24 because I was thinking like, is it episode 23? Bro, my brain is wilding out. But yes, okay. So last time on the podcast, we had 3 predictions. Doc started off with a very bold prediction, suggesting that Barabask is there and that there was going to be a big discussion with him. We don't know. Judging, I think also like judging from Action Surge, probably unlikely. It was a big swing. Cool idea. Unfortunately, big miss. But I encourage you to take those swings. I encourage you to take those big swings.
Wow.
I don't know how to say it nicely. It was a good attempt. It was not correct.
It was
So
a,
Doesn't know how to
far,
be
who
nice.
knows?
it was a home run swing, Harry, and it
Okay,
just
here's the thing. It
didn't
could
go.
be a
He
home
doesn't know
run
about
swing
baseball.
that
Don't
could have
make us
been
explain baseball
oriented
to him.
at the it could have been like swung at the incorrect time. So like you've swung it like way too early, but like if only you swung it say like an episode. Like what if you predict it like this episode? If you predict it again this episode, it might happen. Like they might be chilling in like I don't know, he might be chilling in the caves or something. Like,
chilling in the caves.
I've been
Chilling in the
expecting
caves.
you. I've been expecting you.
I expect
Radiant
that's-
Thunder.
I expect that's
Mr.
unlikely.
Thunder.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So
go on.
I appreciate you, Doc. I mean, maybe there's got to be. We don't have a scoring system, but if there were points, you get points for like the boldness, and it was a good idea.
Is this like degree of difficulty or something like that? Harry?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
I
what
think
it
like
is?
score needs to be degree of like you get general points of 1 times by like degree of difficulty,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
which is like a scale of like 1 to 5 or whatever. Like times by like was it actually correct or not? And like if it was actually correct, then it's like a 2. If it was like not correct, that can be anything from like 0 to 1. I mean, maybe not times. Maybe it needs to be plus because otherwise your score would be
yeah.
0 if you're just
Oh,
wrong,
I
which
feel
would
like
defeat
in
the
this-
purpose of
I feel like
this.
in this case, yeah, the score was probably 0. Spoken like a true game developer who's thinking about that spreadsheet with all of the
Yeah, I know the flow charts.
all of the mob
I know their maths.
scores, right?
Yeah, I know their maths.
And the drop rates. Good.
My prediction was that they split the party and bonus points if it was Ben's idea. I think it immediately happened.
It immediately happened.
Within
Immediately
about
happened.
45 seconds. Yep.
About 45 seconds, and it was indeed Ben's entire. I think it's pretty fair to say it was Ben's idea that kind of very much spearheaded and caused the shenanigans. How are we feeling about that, jury?
I mean, I feel like difficulty wasn't terribly high because he did something that was going to put Parvis in some immediate danger. So,
Well,
like, they were going to have to send somebody away with Parvis.
In all fairness, I will say, in all fairness, Harry the DM didn't expect it in Action Surge. He was like, oh, he saw it going like one of 2 ways. Either you all go with them, or you all like hide for an ambush, and then everyone kind of did half and half. So he wasn't expecting it.
No.
But
That's gonna count
that's
for something.
crazy that he didn't expect Ben to want Radian to do a performance because
No,
he
no, no,
loves
yeah.
those things.
Yep.
He loves lying.
He does.
He loves lying for play and for pay. Like he wanted to do it so bad.
Yep.
I think he expected it. He just wasn't expecting it to fully split the party for the entire session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Shan.
Yeah.
Shan's oh damn. Shan, your prediction was that Ben takes the opportunity to talk to Doug, our family, in he's gonna get beaten up for blowing, or comma, he's gonna get beaten up for blowing the whistle. I think there was like a two-part, like 2 predictions. You went spicy, you got 2.
I usually give
you went
myself
in
a
for
little bit of leeway in case like something goes terribly awry, which
you've got like the out there prediction, and you've got like the
Yeah.
like, you know, safe prediction.
yeah.
Which, like, I don't know. If it feels like that's definitely something for something on the rules, but we don't have rules. It doesn't
we
matter.
don't have rules. Like, what rules are we citing? There are no
The only rules we're citing is just like we can't say like the episode will air. Like
Yeah.
like there has to be a degree of theoretical chance
Though
that it could not happen.
I did once predict that they would get down from the tower, but to be fair, there was a chance they weren't. So
Somehow there was a chance that they weren't going to get down from the tower.
They
Kelnys
all
So
died.
almost
jokes
did
on me
not
for
get
basically
down.
pushing you to make a second prediction for that.
That's like
Yeah.
a negative degree of difficulty, that one, chat.
that was
Maybe.
funny.
Yeah.
That one was funny because Kelnys did actually have trouble getting down from the tower.
And I was surprised that there was no violence for blowing the whistle. Everyone just seemed to kind of like go along
Yeah,
with it.
they were just like, why would you do that? And then immediately start. Well, I guess because you kind of have to figure out
They
what
had
you're
a
going to do.
5-minute actual like real life
Yeah.
countdown for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
had
think-
to,
I think
like,
it was
get
more,
their stuff together.
I think it was more like Ben didn't have any time, or like they didn't
Yeah.
have any time to beat up
Because I
Ben
feel like
yet.
Elowen absolutely would have like killed him for that
Yep.
if
I
there
think
was time.
Elowen is going to like put 2 people in this party on the naughty step once they are like once they've like properly reconvened.
It's
and
always
killed out.
Kelnys and it's always Radiant because, and I feel so bad for Holly because every time they do a shenanigan together, they usually will do something like behind Holly, like touch hands or whatever,
Mhm.
and like poor Holly, like in character and out, having to deal with this nonsense.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Poor Holly.
Ben taking the opportunity to talk to Doug Ari family. He didn't do that, but like, I mean,
Well,
I know there's
yeah,
been like
he
the whole
couldn't
meta narrative.
do that too much. They
He
were
couldn't do
trying to
that.
talk, and then the guy got mad at them for talking.
But could we argue? I'm gonna argue. Like, could you argue that Ben talking to Doug through like the whispers, leading to Kelnys's unhinged episode,
Yeah.
which like in Action Surge he's trying to be like, yeah, sure, it's because Kelnys is getting a little bit more free and unhinged following the whole episode 22. Can we argue that was him technically talking to him about
No,
family?
we
no,
cannot.
I'm not
Harry.
even gonna.
No, we
I don't
cannot.
even want to argue that.
I tried to
That
get your
is
point.
some-
No,
I tried.
Yeah, that is some
No.
like attempting 5D chess here.
No.
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 Right. So Harry gets some points, and the rest of us get none. I think.
Thank you. I would like to thank my friends. I'd like to thank my family. I'd like to thank you all.
Excellent.
I'd like to thank Ben for immediately doing the thing that he absolutely was going to do.
Very good. We did not have a dress, but we did have a top that from Aoife that was killer.
It was very good.
Can it be an honorary dress? Because it was like that cool.
It was very
Have
cool.
we seen it before? I feel like I've seen it before.
I don't believe we have.
Okay,
but-
it looked familiar.
And I tried to find, I am sure that there was a brief moment where Holly and Aoife were talking about a particular online shop. Maybe it was in, I tried to go, I thought it was
Was
in the
it?
last BTS.
Was it Zara? Like when I asked
No, it's
Aoife
a,
specific. Oh, it's another
it's
thing.
a
Okay.
goth clothing retailer here in the UK.
Okay.
I believe that they were both talking about, and Holly said, "Oh, well, now that I'm older and I have my own money, now I can buy the clothes I want to buy, right?"
Yeah.
And Aoife said something similar about, and I'm pretty sure they were referring to this top
Okay.
in particular. But I couldn't find the quote, so don't
It's
quote
in
me.
the air now.
I'll have to check that out. But yeah, killer top. Very on brand with the webs, etc. but not a full dress. So I don't think we can knock off the previous top scorer. I'm afraid. And I do not remember a bowling shirt being present, Harry, for Alex.
We should just
It's
keep
not a
bringing
plot
up the
relevant
bowling
episode,
shirt.
don't worry.
No.
Oh, okay, because it's not plot relevant.
Also,
Maybe
he has not
maybe
worn the
next
shirt in
episode.
quite a while. He has not
quite
worn
some
it
time,
in
yeah.
quite a while.
Yeah.
Because he's been currently wearing the newly dead shirt like every time so far. Which,
That's true, yeah.
respect.
The most recent BTS, though, they did spend about 10 minutes talking about Doug and Alex's wardrobe choices and where to get them. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Gotta
Does
be
he talk
Patreon
about
Well,
like
get
bowling
Patreon
shirts?
and then check
He
it
does.
out.
Yeah, you've got to have you got to be on the Patreon.
Yes.
He did not talk about the bowling shirts. No.
He puts so
Secret
much
just for
emphasis
him.
on these bowling shirts, and Alex doesn't even think about them.
I told
Oh,
him
Harry
about the
loves the
bowling
bowling
shirts,
shirts.
and I don't think he's worn one ever since.
He thought
When I
you
told him
didn't
at
like
EGX,
it.
and then not for another episode, he's worn it.
Once you summon this, Harry, like, yeah, you can't put it back.
I
He's
tempted him,
interested
like,
now.
tempted him with that like superstition, like
You
the
cannot put it
freaking
back, buddy.
dice, like
Um,
tower.
I loved. So this is one of the first things while we were watching live that I put in the notes, which was the quote, "You effing moron," which is just I really do feel that Harry is getting fed up with Radiant's ridiculousness, and just feel like we're even getting the NPCs at this point going, that makes no sense whatsoever. What the hell are you doing?
Well, except for Parvis. Parvis was very impressed with his acting skills.
Yeah. So yeah. Excuse me. There was Harry, tell us about the Kelnys chaos. But
Oh, where to begin? You've asked the guy who says like fudge and dang and heck instead of
Yeah.
like words.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know what the right. I don't know how you like substitute the word.
Poppies?
Plums? I don't know. That's
Plums.
worse.
well,
But yeah, he basically so Kelnys, you know, he likes cats. Yeah. All right. And so in this episode, yeah, I was gonna say the like the whole you flipping you darn heckin' moron a bit like doesn't just extend to Radiant. It honestly just kind of extends to just the vibe of this whole episode in general. Because this episode was the emergence of like Kel's unhingedness, like just a never before seen. It defies a lot of
era.
explanation. Yeah, chaotic
Yeah.
era. It's like again, Holly, like Elowen is like sitting, you know, Kelnys and Radiant down on the naughty step, and she's talking to Kelnys, being like, "You were supposed to be the good brother. You were supposed to be the responsible one, and you're copying him." Yeah. So while they were traveling along, keeping their cover pretty good, they had like the guy who was getting a bit paranoid about them whispering about things, causing a bit of deception. Like Dolly, I gotta be honest, Dolly Aoife freaking fighting for her life out here, fighting for her life, trying her absolute best to like maintain cover while like two absolute clowns are escalating the situation and making it worse, culminating in Doug leaning back very confidently, extremely confidently, and like
And
declaring his love of
calling
cats.
the guy a pussy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should just let one of us say it. Like I'm
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll just vaguely
I'm from
point
Philly,
at
I
the
don't
screen,
care.
and I need one of you to say it. Yeah.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
not lip syncing, man. This is gonna go so bad.
No, it's gonna be
Doug
bad.
said, Doug said, no, Kelnys, the character said it. Kelnys just just leant back
With
and
his
just
whole
like
chest.
with his whole chest, just straight up called the guy a
Pussy.
yeah.
Yeah. And then he doubled down, and then
Yeah,
they
he
had to
doubled
roll
down.
initiative.
When Dolly tried to freaking like bail them out of whatever that was, and he was like, nah, you're a.
No, I'm not gonna repeat it again.
Okay.
He's already said it twice.
I
But
feel
then he
like
became one later on in the episode.
it
was peak.
This
Oh my
was
God.
just so ridiculous that we also started with the giggles around rings for like
It was
20 minutes, okay? And then
The
and
recap
then-
fell apart several times.
and the whole cast was about basically on the floor laughing. And as soon as we have pussy mentioned more than once, Holly was beside herself with like, please don't do that, whatever. I cannot understand what went through Doug's mind with this in particular
What
and
does
this
he
situation.
want
But
Kelnys to be?
like-
Like, I understand Kelnys being a little off the handle after something like that happened, which is why I was kind of like, I mean, even before he went completely off the handle, why I was hoping somebody would talk to him, not even just Radiant, somebody, anybody,
Mhm.
because like that could go one of two ways, right? That could go really well and you could feel comforted and like be in a better place, or it could go very badly and you could crash out. And we didn't necessarily know which way Kel was gonna go,
Mhm.
but he's definitely in his crash out era. and like there's no opportunity to talk because now they're Radiant's got them surrounded by the gloam. So like yeah, there's no good opportunity to talk about that, but like
There's no time for therapy in this part.
there's no time for therapy, but is there time to be like picking fights? Like that's normally Radiant's job, and he was like actually
mean,
like doing his part.
Doug did say that he, and this is from the Action Surge, right?
Yeah.
That he is a bit jealous sometimes of how free Ben is with his
Yeah.
character, and how he just kind of like
Is insane.
basically YOLOs.
Yeah, he's
right? He just YOLOs, right?
yeah, he's just
he
here to have a
does.
good time.
And for anyone who's played D&D and any like YOLOing is a way to get your characters killed, right?
Yeah.
Like or wipe your party, right? It just is. There's stuff out there to kill you, and if your DM is doing what they should be doing, often you get yourself in big trouble, right? And I'm still kind of shocked that we went through this whole episode with a character being blighted and with basically no consequences whatsoever. By the way,
I forgot about that.
but
I mean, I know nothing about D&D, so for me it just feels like time isn't really
Yeah.
passing.
I mean,
like, everything's just kind of happening.
it's kind of weird, right? But leaving that aside for the moment, yeah, this was one of these like Doug trying to YOLO basically, and boy did it backfire. And I think the other thing we have learned about Doug is if you put him under extreme pressure, especially with mechanics that he hasn't thought through beforehand, he's gonna do some wacky stuff.
Yeah.
And boy did we get wacky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The panther, the panther.
The
Yeah,
Panther
let's talk about
incident, Harry, yes.
the second cat.
Mhm.
The real cat.
I mean, how intimidated would you be like if a panther started kind of play acting killing someone from behind a bush who you didn't previously see, was behind a bush, and then come out and then make a human sound rar. What would you do in that scenario?
I don't even know, man. That's
I
weird.
feel
as
like
hell.
I would just be kind of paralyzed.
You wouldn't be in the
Harry.
scenario in the first place.
Well,
I'm
Well,
getting the
yeah.
feeling.
But I'd just be kind of paralyzed with the ridiculousness of the situation. Yeah, I mean, Doug was put under pressure and ridiculousness ensued.
Yeah, I think in his defense, when he learned about the situation, because I think I have sympathy for that, like that situation of basically it comes from just not like misinterpreting or misunderstanding what the GM says.
Yep.
But and in his defense, he was kind of like trying to say afterwards, like, oh, can I not do that? Can I instead do something else? But freaking Ben was basically like, no, we gotta roll with this. This is too funny not to roll with it. So he does partly share the blame in the, you know, the wallowing around in the muck. But yeah, I totally sympathize with that, especially because like playing Druid as your first character, effectively coming back to D&D after like quite a while of not doing it. That's
tricky.
a lot.
It is a lot. And
yeah.
And I do feel like we've heard a lot of talk about Doug investing a substantial amount of time in backstory, etc. with Harry. And the one episode where we know he invested a lot of time in thinking about what his character might be able to do and offer was spectacular.
Yes.
Right?
The unlocked Doug.
The unlocked, yes. So maybe this kicks him again to think about, you know, Harry, you'll know this from playing your own characters, that you've got, hey, if these types of situations happen, these are the tools that I can use to work with that situation because I'm comfortable with those tools, right?
It takes time to get there.
Yeah.
I think it takes time to get there. I think the main thing also with like at like a table, I think one thing that might be like, I don't know, I'm not like trying to like armchair DM now, but like I think at the table, in the case of like someone like saying a thing that is utterly like buck wild basically for the situation needs to be a case of like, because normally like how in terms of natural six like their stuff goes is the stuff that they say is the stuff that they do, and it's only very rarely where it's a thing that's physically impossible that Harry will interject and say like, we can't do this because you're not in this situation, that kind of thing. That's the only time he takes those things away. But generally it's like the players like say that's the thing they're gonna do, and that is the thing that happens. Like I think in the case of, it's mostly because it kind of affected Elowin in sort of like a tangentially kind of like, you know, mechanically kind of like crummy way, because it kind of like the consequence of Kelnys doing a wild thing accidentally negatively like affected her. And when it comes to like consequences and the things that you do, I think it like, I personally like to roll that like consequences that happen to players that are other than yourself is something that should generally be like opted in for or part of the intended clearly communicated flow of the thing.
Yep.
So like I kind of think in that situation, like, and in some situations, because like, you know, again, I'm a player who gets easily flustered with the things that I can do, and I could say something that might not make sense. So I think it's a thing of, if that situation happens, like, okay, if you do this, this is probably the kind of thing that would happen. Maybe perhaps what you're looking for, if you're looking to wild shape into something, is maybe you could be looking into this kind of option. And that kind of, I think, helps guide a little bit of the game as a conversation, and kind of helps you as like a new player learn a bit more about like, okay, this is the kind of thing that I could maybe do in this situation.
Yeah.
I do agree it made it very like funny.
Yeah.
I do agree it made it funny. Sometimes you do just kind of need the comedy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing to remember here as well is that this is a show for entertainment for others. Yeah. So sometimes there is a lot of entertainment in mistakes or funny situations that you put in there, just kind of a bit ridiculous, right? But I have played in the past with DMs that were very much of that sort of feel, Harry, especially with new players, be like, hey, I realize you want to do that, or I realize you think you want to do that, but let me just stop you for a moment. And
let's take a breath.
Take a breath and let me give you the likely consequences of that action in the world as a whole, right? Because you're not thinking this through. And that is a nice way to get new players into those types of situations, right?
I'd just say
For sure.
also a thing of just like Doug did do this in like some previous episodes, but I noticed that again he and like a lot of people like at the table don't do this because of like, oh, is this like metagaming, that kind of thing. I think in those kind of situations also, if you don't know what to do, it's okay to like outsource your thinking to the table as well, and just kind of in terms of being honest, like, hey, I'm not really sure what I can do here. I'm thinking of doing this, but I think that might mess things up. I'm
Yep.
not sure what the right thing to do here is. What would somebody else recommend? Because, you know, outside perspectives can help you at times and
Yeah.
lead to less the feeling of, oh, I need to panic and do something is ultimately the thing.
Yeah, there is
yeah.
very much. I think Harry has been very good about not pressuring for time. I have played at tables previously with very experienced people with very experienced DMs. And yeah, like you in that situation, if you don't say what you're gonna do almost immediately, like the time is gone, man. Like
You have to do your turns in like 6 seconds.
you
actually have to do your turn in 6 seconds.
Your action. This is not the time to pull out the monster manual and go and look at a bunch of stuff or the player's handbook right now. And you know, kind of crowdsource. There's no calling a friend now to figure out what you should do on your turn, right?
You are in the muck.
Yeah,
You need to get
so
yourself out of the muck.
You need to act, right?
Mm-hmm.
But stepping beyond the chaos for a moment, Shan, we did have a very nice series of moments between I and Parvis, though.
Trying to remember the details.
The details?
But wasn't, because I'm worried I'm confusing the last episode, right? Because I was listening to the recap again, which was the most chaotic recap yet, and like Harry mentioned something in it, and I was like, wait, I thought that was in this episode. So like, is this the one in which he explains why he had asked him to listen when he like that they're
No,
his? Okay, see, I got my episodes all
this
mixed up.
was I initiated, and
Yeah.
it was him explaining to Parvis
Yeah.
how he feels he is balancing the individual with
Yes.
the member of the tribe, basically.
Okay.
And that sort of growth and how he sees the world differently now.
Because he was a
than
wee
he did
baby.
previously.
He was a wee baby when he came out to the world. He did not know anything about it. He did not know his ABCs or his 1, 2, 3s. And he's still kind
Still
of
does
an
not know
idiot.
those ABCs.
He still does
No.
not. And I'm looking forward to the first
Reading
example
lesson.
of that.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be my prediction for.
Oh, you think he's gonna finally learn how to read a
I'll
little bit?
foreshadow some prediction for 25 here,
Right.
and say that there's going to be some learning going on reading, by I in the next episode.
I am excited to see like if I's like acknowledging it and aware of it and coming to terms with it. I'm excited to see where that takes him as a character, because like self-awareness is the first step, right? So, you know, him kind of figuring out who he is, who he wants to be, all that jazz, even though he's kind of a dumb baby, will help him be less of a dumb. Do I think
he's just naive
he'll
of
do
the world,
less
right?
dumb things? No.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, that naivety will start to kind of trickle away, especially talking to someone who like is much less not a baby, has like outside world experience, has like deep conflict with like a leader essentially, like with themselves, disagreeing with themselves, and like being around somebody like that is guaranteed to make you think about like where you are, even if you're kind of a dumb baby like I is. And I say that with love. Obviously he's not that dumb, but it's because he doesn't think like a lot of other characters might, because he doesn't
yeah.
know how the world works. He's just a baby.
He doesn't have. He previously did not have the luxury of other viewpoints.
Yeah,
right?
and now he has like a whole squad of people, though some of them are really bad influences. But yeah, I'm interested to see like where that takes him, especially like considering where they, maybe not in the next episode, who knows, given how this one went. Like we barely did anything in this one.
Yeah.
But whenever they finally get closer to the old dark and the answers that they could find there, what that means for him
Definitely.
too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I wanted to ask you, Harry, since last episode we talked a little bit about how D&D is not a video game.
Yes.
And I felt like we had a little bit more of that here. Whereas like, well, I went and did the thing. I went here. I went, like I did some exploration. I should be rewarded for this exploration, right? I should be it's like going to the room, right? Going to the house in Final Fantasy 14, Shan, and there's there's no chest inside and you feel let down, right? And I felt a bit like, at least when they were starting, Dolly and Radian going to this camp, spending all this effort to do all this, and they were just like, yep, there's nothing to learn here. And
well, I mean,
I guess as a DM, Harry, how do you feel? How do you handle that situation where you got your players thinking that there's goodies and things to learn in a place where there's no goodies and no things to learn?
Yes, I am the most experienced DM in the world. I totally haven't audio listeners / translators notes. Keikaku means plan, and I actually am not a GM at all. But I'll give my hypotheticals. I've done a few sessions. I can do it GMing sort of. I wouldn't ever GM 5e ever again. Personally, nothing against it. I just it's too stressful. There's too many things. But I mean, first of all, I would say like I still think it wasn't like a big, I guess big triumphant, we learned groundbreaking, shattering new knowledge about like the Glomerate or everything. But like, I think there still was an important level of like just starting to get through the breakthrough of learning bits and pieces about the Gloam, because the Gloam are, what we learned this episode is that the Gloam are people who have effectively like volunteered or been disillusioned, so they volunteered and been scouted by other people, presumably, to go and basically join in with the Vile forces. And that it's basically it's not like the Gloam are people from the Shadowfell or that kind of thing. It's like, oh no, these are people of Reliquiae, effectively kind of rising up against Reliquiae. And there's also kind of some interesting like parallels and comparisons almost to kind of like how the group's outlooks or like some of the nihilistic members of the group see things, and how if things took like a 0.25 second like pivot or something like that, if the House Grenweird stuff like didn't happen, if Elwyn wasn't in the party and the party weren't as connected to Castle Grenweird, and they went on like the different sort of situation, and perhaps, I don't know, even say if they went with Morgan, for example, they could all be very easily on that other side of the conflict. So like my first of all would be like, hey, just because it's not like, wow, you've learned another like Harry big lore dump basically. Which like I know from judging the like some of the behind the DM screen kind of stuff, keeping it nice and vague because they're really nice write-ups on Patreons. But I know Harry sort of said how he handled the like the Gronoth kind of like, it was called in his notes like basically the Gronoth info dump.
Yep.
And like he sort of mentions in there how he really dislikes that, like because he called it an info dump, he sort of indicates was like this was not like as well planned as he wanted to be on his like front. So like I think it's just on like a GMing style wanting to like put things more piecemeal and not have it just be the, okay, you've knocked a natural 20. I have to tell you everyone's social security numbers. Here's everything that the Gloam is about, or here's lots of like earth-shattering stuff about the Gloam. I think like there's a lot to be said about the rewardingness of just kind of like learning even just one small little in of something.
Yeah.
But I would also say, like, in terms of, okay, to actually answer your question after rambling for so long, like, how would I as a GM like communicate to players that there's not much to significantly learn? I mean, like, I hate to kind of be a weird, I don't know, like Debbie Downer or give the boring answer to this, but it's like, if there's nothing to learn, if there's nothing to learn, I think, like, don't make your players roll for things. I wouldn't really make my players, like, you know, roll for stuff or roll for things that I'm not prepared to come up for, basically, you know?
Yep. Yeah. If you have no, if there's no goods, then yeah. Don't put stuff up for auction. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. But ultimately, I think like that there is still stuff they could have absolutely learned. I mean, first of all, here's the one thing that I'm really surprised Dolly didn't do. When they killed the people and the things, she didn't use her like you know, she didn't use her like copycatting abilities.
Yeah.
She could have used the copycat abilities on one of them, and
you're right.
And she didn't do so. If she did that, she would have potentially learned what the chapter kind of structure, what are rings, you know, how tight are they, you know, etc. Like, she could have learned a lot of that stuff and learned people's names as well. Because I was really surprised that she didn't do that. Again, we can't literally do every single thing in a session. But that would have been a really good, like, it's not about not having information. It's just like, sometimes the ways people are going about it is like, you're trying to enter a room through like a tiny window. You can't fit your body through like this window. So you're just not gonna get all the things you want from it. Try a different method effectively.
Yep.
But I think there's things in there. It's just what fits the story,
hard,
really.
It can be hard to communicate that sometimes, for sure.
I'm glad, because I mean, we did just have like a big info dump with like, you know, Parva's stuff that we're not getting like, here's everything about the Gloam. I like the Gloam being mysterious.
What are you thinking, Shan?
I don't want to know what they are.
Well, yeah. I actually thought it was a really interesting reveal that the Gloam is they're just people. Because they seemed, when we first, like, not obviously, we kind of had the idea of that when they ambushed that one group. But after like Mouse, they seemed like a little bit scary. Like, what's behind these guys? What's running them? To find out they're just people disillusioned is kind of crazy. Like, it's not like they were like roped into this evil thing, or they were manipulated in, like, you get into the web, like you have to pay your debt, whatever. They are people that are just like, you know, they learned something, or they saw something that made them disillusioned with the society they're living in. And rather than, you know, try and, obviously, because it's a fantasy world, so you can't, it's not like the real world where you can go and affect change in some little way. Like, they got recruited or joined this group that we don't know who leads them yet, obviously. Or like, I mean, we do kind of, but like how that is connected to the bigger picture is where we're still kind
we
of,
don't
we
know
haven't
who's
learned anything
really
about the people
pulling
from
the
there.
strings there. No.
Yeah, because we haven't learned anything about the Vial, because we can't, because they're like, they lost, so they were, you know, struck from the records. We were told nothing exists in their land. And then you find out that's not true. There's so much we don't know, because there were big reveals kind of hidden in the smaller ones, but because, you know, we don't take any time with them, there's no way to grow from them. So for me, I think learning that they're just people who are disillusioned because they learned that the virtuous were lying about something, or some things. I mean, that's crazy, because this world does, their entire identity and existence is thanks to the virtuous. So yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, the virtuous, hell yeah, like, they created us, like, we're in their image. But now it's like everything is now up in the air when you learn that they were lying about stuff. It's like, what else are these people lying, or these gods, I guess, what else were they lying about? What else were they hiding? How much is like not true? Like, beyond myth, but actual like reality, how much just isn't true? And so obviously you're going to have people disillusioned. And like I said a second ago, it's not like you can just go fix that.
No.
You find the powerful, because there's no elections for the dead gods. You know what I mean? Like you can't go vote them out. First of all, they're already dead. And second of all, they're gods. And even if they didn't know that they weren't all powerful anymore or whatever, because normal people don't go up to Mount Atria. So like the curiosity as to how they found all this stuff out, like who told them? Were they told before or after they joined the Gloam? Was there something that happened? Like, have there been events going on that we don't know about that's causing people to like turn on the natural order of things? It's a pretty interesting, like it brings up interesting questions that the cast just isn't asking, which is fair because they have a lot going on, like Doug turning into a panther and calling people names.
They're not asking those things at the moment.
Yes, they could come up later.
But
it's like, we're still with this group. We still, we're still here.
It is interesting. I think we talked about this last time about how the group was very angry, right, with the Virtuous and the Antiqua and the way in which they conducted themselves, right?
Yeah.
And the things that they left out effectively, right? I think and there was a bit of chatter, right, with Parvis about that. It'll be interesting to see whether now that they know a little bit more, probably to your point, Shan, is you've got an Antiqua right there. And potentially you're going to have a Virtuous to ask these questions of.
Yeah, you're like this close to seeing a Virtuous.
You do have the opportunity to ask those questions, right? And it'll be interesting to see whether they do.
Yeah.
I found it interesting, though, that you gave the example that I was going to raise, answering my own question about
brain.
about what you do when your party members or where your players get to a place where there's no shiny thing to get.
Yeah.
And that's that you open the door for them, right, to learn a little bit about the world they wouldn't otherwise, in particular if there are NPCs there.
Filler episodes, as we call them in television, world-building episodes.
World building. And it's interesting that Harry chose, in this particular case, I think that's his style in general.
We did just have a huge, a bunch of, big events just happen. It kind of makes sense to pull
hugely
back a
significant things for the players. Well, let's have some relatively significant things for the world. And I thought it was interesting. And you can do that with props. You can have somebody find something that has significance to the world itself. In this particular case, there were NPCs available, so there was the opportunity to have something of significance be discussed, right? And I have found in my own games that is a good way to reward the players for doing something that you didn't expect, right? And that leads them to an area, for example, where you haven't prepped, right? And use some of those things that you have kind of behind the curtain to reward that exploration, right? And a bit of a video game sense, right? That, this wasn't the, oh yeah, you went to the Gloam camp and you found a sword +2, right?
Yeah.
In the purple sword +2.
In the purple chest in the corner.
He didn't even find explosives.
And they were rolling well for a bunch of stuff there, but in that particular case, not so well from Benjamin Starr.
I do want to raise one lore thing, or one lore question. If the Gloam, normal Gloam, are just normal people doing normal things, what's the thing from Basil Brush? The Basil Brush quote,
Don't have it for you, Harry.
We're just normal men. We're just normal men.
Normal men doing normal things. Yep.
I'll send the thing afterwards. Someone will know what I'm talking about.
Probably.
They'll mention in the comments, no doubt.
Yeah, the little
Usually
squirrel
Jazzy
guy.
B. Wild is on
Yeah.
point with his references, so I'm sure he'll pick it up.
Please, Jazzy, back me up here. You know
Oh, go
what I'm
ahead.
talking about, right? If those are just like normal, normal people like following an ideology, what's going on? What's going on with like, the weird? I mean, there's also like, again, the examples of Carvilius and Morgan. They got like the weird, inky stuff going on. Yeah, what's
it
up with
could be
that?
from further up. That's what I mean. Like, we don't know the hierarchy here yet. And clearly, somebody in the hierarchy is probably from the Shadowfell.
We
And
don't know
there's
the
probably
significance
some-
of the powers of those people who are surrounding any of this.
we don't know. Like, all we know is that
that
the,
is for
the
sure.
guys on the ground, which is typically how these things, like organizations in general, how they work. You have the guys on the ground. You have the guys who are sometimes on the ground above them, and then you have the people who are never on the ground, And like, it's kind of like the web. The web has like agents and middle managers and higher managers, and then they have the corporate structure, So like, I think it's one of those things where there's somebody, whether it's Barabask or not, has the capability to do that. It's probably whoever gave Barabask his powers.
Yeah.
From
Are
the
you
vial.
suggesting, Shan, that Harry McIntyre has got Natural Six set up as a allegory on capitalism?
No, I'm just trying to explain it in a way that we understand. I'm using a metaphor, which I know I doesn't always understand, is metaphor. But no, it's kind of like to visualize what I'm thinking is like this power structure that has like you have the people, like the spinner of the web has like all
that
the
is
people underneath
a
him and the squad leaders.
Natural
It's the way you keep control from
settling
higher up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a natural settling in of structures of a group, for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to contribute the phrase Marxist Radianism.
Ooh.
God.
Don't let
Marxist
Ben hear you. He's going to
McIntyre.
use that going forward.
It
will.
rolls off the tongue better than like Marxist McIntyreism.
Like, if I know I've said this before, so I'm going to say this in a very particular way so I don't get clipped again. I think there are some cast members who are less likely to hear what we're talking about than others. So
that is true.
I
That
don't
is
think
true.
he'll hear that from us. I think it's somebody who would repeat it,
Repeat it, yeah.
and then he'd find out about it.
Good.
So we're safe right now.
We're safe right now. We will end with Harry's comment on toxic DMs.
I want toxic DMs. My comment on toxic DMs.
Oh, like direct messages? DMs, not Dungeon
Wait.
Masters DMs.
Oh,
The
wait.
spinner is sending toxic DMs to Dolly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wanted to read it to you so you knew exactly what we were talking about. It's because we confused him because we were talking about Dungeon Masters for a while.
We
Now we
have
switched it
prefixes
up.
and suffixes for a reason.
Oh my God.
I don't know which one we're talking about. We're talking about me. We're talking about that. I'm not sending any toxic DMs.
Toxic DMs.
You can contact the staff members through the mod mail.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay, yeah, toxic DMs. Yeah, okay, the spinner. So, fucking knew that cast spoiler was still in effect. Let's fucking go! Sorry. Anyway, so the spinner, sends a DM to Holly? No. Dolly, there you go.
There you go.
Well done.
In the middle of the night, saying like, hey, hey honey, hey hun, you up? Just been thinking about like the cool times we had at like the web. You traded like one web for another. That was pretty cringe. Have you considered talking to quote unquote him about like his family? Oh man, look how he dodges and deflects that, and I don't know, cast hypnotic gaze or something. Anyway, bye. That's what he says. And then the episode ends. So
I mean, he was a bit more succinct than that, but yeah.
no, that's exactly what he said.
It had to work into like 50 words or whatever.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
Harry
like
said.
25
some
words.
Yeah, or
solid
25.
little
25,
words.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
25.
sending stones.
Okay,
Oh, and also he
Sure.
said as part of that, like, oh yeah, by the way, I did kill Kelnys' family. Like, fun times.
Later.
Lamau. That was very fun. Anyway, see you later. See you
Yep.
later, Dolly.
Yep.
Potentially, Dahlia, which that's probably what that is because
XOXO.
that's fun.
Web
XOXO.
boy.
Okay,
Smiley
thanks, bye.
face.
Yeah.
Radiant thumbs up.
Yeah.
But I'll never tell. XOXO.
Yeah.
Spinner boy.
It was quite the way to finish.
At least the spinner did not at everyone in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting. We will circle back on that because there was a at everyone in general, which I'd like to talk about. And we'll do it in mop up, I think.
It's almost mop up time.
It's almost mop up time. But yeah, I mean, at some point, Aoife is going to have to let this group in.
Yeah.
Or Dolly's going to have to let this group in. Aoife's going to have to let some things go.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be interesting to see. So far, it's been very, very gradual. And we'll see how, I mean, we're, whatever it is.
We all agree.
Nearly 75 hours into this campaign now, right? Almost a year into this campaign. So yeah, she's gonna have to let those threads go, right? And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Like, we all agree that basically Dolly had like a secret second mission of basically like figuring out what the hell's up with Radiant, right? And that's what the spinner's referring to, yeah?
Yes, I have seen some people suggesting potentially that it's Kelnys as well.
Yeah,
or
'cause
that
I think
Kelnys was the actual intended target
'cause
there.
Radiant hasn't really dodged any questions about his family because I mean he dodged like once answering
There's kind
a
of not
question,
much
but
to tell.
he doesn't
at
have
some level.
anything to tell. He's kind of told everything he knows, but there's so much he doesn't know, so he can't lie about what he doesn't know. But who knows about Kelnys? Because Kelnys knows at least a bit more, at least about because they called him the son of the tree speaker.
Yep.
But we haven't talked about the tree speaker, only his parents.
Yeah, definitely.
So we still don't know what's going on with the tree speaker, who has come up
Definitely,
several
Shan.
times.
Definitely.
And why Yilda has a
grudge.
against Kelnys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at it at kind of face value, Radiant is the much more dangerous individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or potentially dangerous individual. Why does he have the deck of many friends? Why is he all scarred like this?
Why is his eye like that?
Etc. Etc.
Why does he not know?
Why does
his
he not
ABCs
know
or his 1, 2, 3s, or not to write like important private information in publicly
diary?
accessible books? Yeah.
Yep. So it's the logical thing there.
He's the big question mark.
He's the big question mark. Whether she was asked to pay attention to both of them, who knows?
She was put in charge for a reason. I think she was kind of meant to keep an eye on all of them.
All of them. There's a bit of keep your friends close and your enemies closer here, potentially, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And I would venture to say potentially that's all we hear about it. Like, Dolly might repeat. In the past, she has not just gone like, oh yeah, bro sent me a toxic DM again. Here's everything that they said. That has not been how she has operated up until this point. So it'll be interesting to see at the beginning of 25 whether there's even any discussion about that. That may be we have this big cliffhanger and then we don't talk about it for another 4 episodes, right? That is a very real outcome here.
Will this affect the Dolly revenge arc?
Potentially. I mean, we knew that there was some intersection between the old dark and where they're going and Dolly's past party members from lives long forgotten. I don't know. Harry. To be honest, I think it'd be interesting to see whether how it potentially affects that. But
I'm mostly wondering if it's basically like a, you know, the spinner kind of maybe understanding like what's going on, and if like Dolly's going to be denied her revenge in some way, that would be like interesting. Or just like that the web still, her kind of like plot line, her kind of like thread is that like the web still being like a lingering shadow and holding a lot over her.
yeah,
Even if she's like, yeah, I don't actually have anything to lose, fudge it. She could be like, oh, what? You know, web could be like, well, we know there's this guy you want to freaking kill. So like,
yeah. I mean,
well, if we was the Mao.
maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel like she's made that choice.
Yeah.
Right? She made that choice 10 plus episodes ago in Mouse, right? Like she could have had, if she's weighing those two things of revenge and what the web can offer me versus what this group of, this motley crew can offer me, right? She's made the choice. I'm going with the motley crew. And as she spends more time with the motley crew, I think that the hold that has, the current party has on her is going to be much stronger than anything really that the web can offer. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is still part of her that those two things are very close to each other in balance, but I feel like, this is kind of like, going to your high school reunion after 10 years and having the bully who kind of harassed you a bit go, hey, what about this guy? And you're like, that was 10 years ago, buddy. Like, I moved on, right? So yeah, I can't imagine it's going to affect her way of thinking about this. Beyond reminding her that, hey, the web's still here. And Harry kind of alluded to that. It's like, oh, we haven't heard from the web for a while, so now is the time for the web to stick its head up above the parapet, right? And say, and wave and go, hey, we're still here, guys. Right? So yeah, I guess time will tell what the significance of that truly is.
Awesome.
Cool. We will leave our spoliers up for a moment while we make our predictions for 25.
Yeah.
And any general thoughts.
I think, Doc, you've already got your prediction.
Yeah.
The next episode. What is your prediction? Read it out once again for the class.
Or that there will be some learning. I think, Harry, you wrote, I learns to read finally. I don't know about learning to read, but
okay. There will be learning. It's incredibly vague.
I mean, learning in the sort of reading territory. We might get some alphabet, maybe Holly and Dolly and crew are going to do some hooked on phonics for Reliquie here. Sounds, maybe they'll start with
Alakash.
numbers. Yeah, A is for Alakash. Yeah. Maybe they'll start with numbers instead. Yeah, I feel like we're going to start with the basics, as they should. I would be very surprised if after one episode I all of a sudden got the ability to read. Yeah, recognizing the shapes and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'll continue with that. Yeah.
Shan, I want to jump to you next on this one. Ignore the one that I've already kind of like put down as my thing, because I'm umming and erring about it. So ignore that one if I've stolen your one.
No, because I've been trying to think about it, because I'm trying to think of what's even feasible. Like, because I was so far off last time. Like,
don't be discouraged. Be bolder.
Bolder?
Be even more bolder.
Good God.
There could be a boulder.
I did well. See, you're between your thing and saying boulder. I'm starting to wonder if there's like an Indiana Jones style boulder weight trap, because that's what you mentioned in your. Obviously, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but like, if there's in the road, it's like Indiana Jones style tunnel, and they have to negotiate through puzzles to get to the old dark.
Well,
okay.
That is.
If you want to put that in, that's fine. I'll come up with a funny one too, because I like to do what I really like to do is a funny one. And like I do actually watch this show. I know it seems like I don't because I forget details, but I do watch this show. There's evidence of me being there.
What's your funny prediction?
My funny prediction. I don't want to put too much stock in Radiant because like it's too easy. That's too easy.
Mm-hmm. Make about Parvus? Maybe make about someone else. You're not. Try to do. Can you make a funny one for Endelion? Sorry, Elowen. She's not been called that for ages.
I mean, she may finally beat up Kel for all I know, because like he's really been ruining her day here, like 100%.
Yep.
I think maybe she tries to reel him in a little bit, because like it's one thing for Radiant to act like this, it's another for like Kelnys. So even if there's not like a talk, because obviously like someone should talk to him, honestly, make sure he's good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she might have to do something to him, beat him up.
May I make a suggestion for how to amend this?
Go for it.
What if you make the amendment to like Elowen has to reel someone in?
Yeah.
Someone can correspond to the two Chaos Boys.
Holly is losing it, and I feel like that's gonna bleed into Elowen also, because Elowen usually at least once every couple episodes has to like put the reins on everybody, like and I think after this episode, between Radiant and Kel,
to your point, Shan, I believe the quote was, "Oh, this is my circus. These are my
exactly.
monkeys."
She had to say, "This is my circus. This is my monkeys." So you know it's bad when she has to admit that it is her problem now. Yeah. So like it's like that. I don't know if either of you have watched Robot Chicken. There's a great gag. Okay, this is one of the only ones I vividly remember. It's a little series they did, and I'm not gonna say the name of the series, but it revolves around like World War II stuff. And it's if the countries were kids, okay, or the world leaders were kids, but it's countries. And so there's one particular part in the series where I believe it was like specifically it was like Italy, Japan, and Germany were stealing all the desks, like all of the Europeans' desks, whatever they're stealing. They're like, "Teacher, they're stealing all our desks," and America's sitting there with his juice box, like, "It's not my problem." And then, like, I forget how they showed it. I think they knocked over the juice, and that was meant to be Pearl Harbor. And he was like, "Now it's my problem." And that's how the U.S. joined World War II. So, like, yeah. So that one sticks in my mind. So that's how I remember, like, we were heroes because we finally chose to be, kind of situation, right? But that's, like, it's like that. They knocked over her juice, and she's like, "Now it's my problem."
Now it's my problem.
Like, now it's her problem.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant prediction.
And my other prediction is for me. Maybe this time I'll remember to take my notes. I want to buy a notebook. I did find my old podcast notebook, but it's specifically Expanse notes, and that's kind of special to me. So I don't know if I want to put like this show in the rest of the notebook, even though it's kind of a waste of a notebook. So yeah, there's a brand I really liked. I bought it on a whim back when I worked at Barnes & Noble, and I liked the notebook for podcast notes so much that I decided to buy a second one. But it's, like I said, it's the entire last 3 seasons of The Expanse, which is like my favorite sci-fi show. And I don't know if I want to have something else in there, if I want to give Natural Six like a fresh
its own book.
So yeah, so like I'm gonna consider in the next 2 weeks, because my credit card rolls over in 8 days, ordering Light and ordering another one of these notebooks so I can take notes, plus bracelet making supplies for PAX. So my prediction for me is to take notes this time so that I remember what happens exactly in which episode, because they play
Very
together
good.
sometimes.
I will do you one better, Shan.
Okay.
When I am in the U.S.,
Yeah.
and I will be there in, I don't know, 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
My business has a series of merch items,
Yeah.
of which one of them is notebooks.
A
And
beautiful
I will
notebook.
send you some.
Yay, notebooks.
All right.
Yay. Yes, I love
Um,
notebooks. I have too many. I
So,
love them.
no problem.
Yay.
I got you covered.
I love notebooks.
Cool. Harry, bring
My
us home.
prediction.
Yes.
My prediction to bring us home.
Mhm.
I'm torn between two. One of my predictions is a boring one, so I don't want to do it. And that prediction would basically be that like I think the cliffhanger for next episode will be them reaching the I think like the next episode will be about them finding the place that they need to go, and the cliffhanger will be them finishing and going through to that. Going
I
through the
agree with
thing, and
you.
that's be like, and you guys go through the thing that's going to be the portal to the
The
thing
gate
where
or
the,
And that's where
whatever.
the
we'll
gate to
stop
the
our
place.
session today.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
where we'll call the session. I
Yeah.
genuinely, that's what I think will be happening.
That's-
So I'm
I
tempted to
agree with
make
you, so
that
that's a
my
good one.
prediction.
That's a good one. I agree with you. That's why I was another reason why I was hesitant.
Can I cheat
Because
and have
we
two
were
predictions?
told not to do the dumb prediction, so I didn't want to say they're not going to go to the old dark the next episode because we said no dumb predictions.
Wait,
I
no
would
dumb predictions.
say-
I like a dumb prediction. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
miscommunicate this.
To me it felt like that one felt too easy, and
The
I already
easy
did
one?
one of
Yeah.
I already did one
Okay.
of those. That wasn't technically easy, but ended up being
So
easy.
here we go. I'm gonna go with the
Okay.
if you guys think that is just like so easy and definitely
Oh,
going
so
to
you
happen,
said they're going to make it to the old dark.
I don't think that the episode will finish there.
Okay.
My feeling is they will spend a little bit of time getting to the Hall of the Virtuous, I believe.
Yeah.
And they will go through the gate in the first hour of the episode.
Either that. So it's either that, or there might be like they'll get to the thing and there'll be like a fight an interesting like boss fight.
Yeah,
or
there's
fight
got
that'll
to be
happen there.
something to keep them from getting in. Like otherwise it'd be too easy.
Well, if it's back
People would
to
just wander in.
back to your Indiana Jones arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Okay, that's
Indiana
covered
Jones.
by the Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, if a boss fight happens, that counts. I'm counting
Indiana
that.
Jones.
Yeah, there's
Indiana
a boss
Jones.
fight. There's a game that just came out. Is there a boss fight in that? Probably. Who knows?
Likely.
Probably multiple boss fights.
Yeah.
Probably if
okay.
they trigger
Yeah, I mean,
a trap.
I would say, Shan, like yes, there is the possibility of boss fight. There's possibility even of set piece. Mark
Yeah.
was very tight-lipped about any future set
Bring
pieces.
out another thing.
Could be
Another dice tower, perhaps.
Another dice tower, perhaps.
So
Justice for the dice.
Justice
We
for
didn't
the
talk
dice
about
tower.
that. Justice for the
Justice
dice
for the
tower.
dice tower.
She
Oh,
threw
man.
that man.
It got tossed.
I can't believe we forgot to talk
Rock
about them
Justice.
throwing the
I
dice
don't know if
tower.
I don't know if
Tower.
it'll ever be. I don't know if it'll ever come back at this point.
No.
no, I
Um,
think it's coming back because it came back in the action search. It's becoming a bit, and Ben is
Yeah.
going to continually ask to
Ben
roll
is
in
going
that
to
box
keep
because
using it.
he loves like the
Yeah.
dramatic tension of that box.
Yeah.
He loves
Um,
how much they hate it. is
But I
what it
love the
is.
appearance of the door. I love the like a first canonical appearance of the door. On the like 7th member of Natural Six that you can only see normally in the behind the scenes.
Mhm.
So, good to know that the door exists.
Very
So,
good.
Yeah. My actual prediction then.
Yeah.
We've got our bases covered. So I'm gonna, even though I think to clarify, not Old Dark, I think like going through that portal that's going to like take them to the place where the Dolly Revenge arc is gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
That's where like that's where I think they'd stop. But I'm gonna, go bold, guess beyond that anyway, and probably overshoot the mark. Let's crack it out. My prediction is that the web is gonna spite Dolly by doing something that threatens her revenge tour.
Okay.
But she's got a revenge tour that she needs to quickly, do. Quick in and out adventure before they go to the Old Dark. The Dark. I forgot what it's called.
The old dark. Yep. Mhm.
The Old Dark. I got it correct. I think something's gonna happen there. It's gonna turn out to be, a web-related middle finger, to basically just mess with Dolly who wants her revenge for the people who got her into the web. And that's located in that area where the old dark is gonna be located. So
Cool.
yeah, that's my prediction.
Excellent.
Bold
Excellent.
and strong and wrong. I'm going for the strong and wrong strategy this time.
Excellent.
I can't be right every week.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Right. Spoilers are going off.
Spoilers.
We're switching our topic to our mop up. Get your mops out.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Hold on, I got the spoon.
You got your I mean, it's at this point, Shan, the spoon.
I might as well just keep doing the spoon.
It's on brand.
It is on brand.
I have one item in the mop up, which is that Harry, your good friend, Mr. Ben Starr, once again at everyone.
This guy, by the way.
The Discord.
Not again.
And I believe that multiple cast members were shocked and horrified.
Yes.
By what
Harry
he posted.
was especially horrified.
If you are interested in better versions of Ben Starr's
merch ideas,
Nightgown,
brainstorming,
diagrams, yeah.
who let him buy an Apple Pencil?
Why did we not include that in the fan art showcase? We were going to do that as a bit and then we forgot to do it.
We probably should have.
Next time, next fan art bit. It's going to be the next fan art bit.
We have to ask his permission.
That's true. I will have to ask Ben's permission.
We have to ask Ben Starr's
Harry,
permission.
maybe you can ask him in the mod chat whether
yes,
in the chat that shall not be
ask
named.
him if he wants to contribute any more fan art.
Fan art. My daughter has done a version of the of the pajamas, which I believe, which of course I would believe is superior. You can check it out in the fan art channel.
Fan art request. I've got a fan art request. Please can somebody like draw an actual like good fan art of Radiant in the terrible nightgown.
See, and I forgot.
It needs to be
I was gonna draw you guys fan art.
Yeah.
I'll try to remember for next time.
Yeah, like it needs to be like beautiful Radiant.
You're not getting beautiful from me, man.
Okay, you're getting like high resolution Radiant and like Radiant like limbs and like that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it is just like I don't know. But then like the actual like nightgown needs to be drawn in like MS Paint or something. It just is like wacky.
I have to find my stylus. I also have like a fake Apple, a Finstol, a fake Apple pencil. So I'll see if I can find it because I can draw on my iPad.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. We look forward to it. Right.
Yep.
Anything else? Mop up?
This could have gone in shout out, but send your well wishes and vibes to Clairvoyant.
Hell yeah.
Acid Burn.
Well wishes.
Yes. Well wishes.
Did reappear on the server, so I mean obviously I'm still not going to give any deets, but is in the hospital, so send good vibes and healing vibes.
We'll do that.
Hopefully
best healing vibes only.
Hopefully they're home soon. So
sweet.
Hell yeah.
Good. Yeah. Cool. Shall we roll some Poly?
Let's do it. I've had the dice ready to go.
Oh yeah, we should. Yeah. I'm rolling the Kickstarter dice.
Andrew's gonna hunt me down in person in May for my Roly Polies. I haven't sent them. I've been doing them with you guys every week. I just keep forgetting to send them in the chat.
Did you stop? Did you?
Oh, I dropped one. Where'd he go?
Right.
Oh, I see it.
That's fine.
What number is that? I dropped one all the way under the desk.
Just about fell on the floor there. Oh man, that is horrendous.
Okay, let's see.
Maths time.
Okay. Let me turn my
while we're talking, I would like to shout out the language of Swedish. It's quite honest. I mean, like, it's been quite honest while I've been learning it.
There's only one thing you need to know, Harry.
Yes.
Skull.
Skull. No. No. No.
That's all you need to know.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Like.
Skull.
Skull.
Yeah, can you like spell it? With like, Can you spell it with what?
Skol, I believe.
Okay.
No. Yes, you're correct, but I don't like it.
Okay, cool. Let me Google that.
It's basically cheers.
Good.
No, so the reason I make a joke is because one of our regional, one of the other teams in the Eagles division is the Minnesota Vikings, and they do this thing where they clap their hands with their skull, and they did that on the art museum steps the year we beat them to go to the Super Bowl, and it was very embarrassing for them because they got beat up at an Eagles home game, and then got mad when we made fun of them for it. So every time I hear skull, all I think about is like when they went to the art museum. That's why there's now a curse. You can't do that, and every team who does it loses now. Ever since they did that,
Everything comes back to the Eagles.
Everything comes back to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's our world, and everybody else is just living in it.
31, 36, 37, 38.
Our rolls are polled. Are they polled? Are they rolled?
38 for me.
Oh, 38 from
Ooh.
Doc.
I rolled 3 ones.
Oh, God.
Yikes.
D6, D8, and D12.
Oh, dear. What was your D100?
10.
Oh.
Yucky.
Ew. Keep
So-
your D20s.
How do you think you did, Shan?
I mean, I definitely did better.
Okay.
I got a 95.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
My D20 fell onto the floor, so I used my flashlight because it's under my desk. I didn't feel like taking my whole kit off to get it, and I used my flashlight. It was a 10. I'll leave it where it is and take a picture if you don't believe me, but it landed on 10. But I got a 60 on my D100. So that's where all
Nice.
my points came from, because I got a 1 on my D6. So all my points came from my D100.
I also got 1 on my D6.
Oh, we're cursed.
In fact, we all 3 of us got ones on our
We're
D6.
cursed.
Oh no, the 666 dice. Those fudging eagles.
Oh,
those
no.
eagles, they're coming back. The eagles are back.
1.
And I
I-
did roll a natural 6.
Excellent.
Oggy woggy, epic.
Excellent.
So,
Harry.
I
Your number.
got a very honest number. I got a 70.
Excellent.
I win today. That's
You
interesting.
win. Good job, Shan.
It's interesting.
Excellent. I am working hard in the background. Hopefully we'll have a guest for next episode. It'll be a surprise.
Oh, cool.
If it happens.
You just shouldn't tell us who the guest is. Don't
yeah,
tell
I was
us who
gonna
the
say,
guest
is it
is.
surprise
We'll like
for
live
us?
surprise.
Surprise guest.
Oh,
No, I don't think it would be appropriate to surprise you guys with a guest.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
but it'll be a surprise.
Yeah,
for
Harry,
everybody
stop being unprofessional.
Yeah.
else. I don't think it'd be appropriate. But get your D20s. Oh, Shan, your D20 is under the desk.
Oh my God. Hold on, I have another one.
Don't you have your massive one?
Where did I put it? Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, but I have more dice sets around here somewhere. Because I ordered a bunch from Tabletop Dominion. Ayo. But I'm just afraid of taking off my... Here they are.
Here you go.
These are not my Tabletop Dominion ones, but I do have a D20 in here, so I'll just take it out.
So the shout-outs, right?
I got
This
it.
is yep. Okay. Roll our initiatives for Shoutouts, guys.
Yes. I've already rolled mine. I got a 17.
Natural 6.
Oh.
8.
Oh. Shout out to Prog. Because whenever you say that I'm gonna lose in a game, I seem to grow powerful. You got destroyed in the marketplace of ideas. I earned the moral victory. And I can't wait to play you again in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Nice.
You're next, Shan.
Oh, I didn't know if he was done or not, because that was a single shout out. I'm used to him doing a couple.
Mhm.
Shout out to what do I want to give it? Because I use mine for like just good vibes.
Yep.
I guess shout out to the Final Fantasy 14 fishermen. We're all dying, but we're all killing it at the same time. shout out to the birds, not the eagles, but birds in general because of the bird flu. I hope they come home soon. I miss them. All the birds at the zoo. Shout out to the beautiful weather. I think it's here for a couple of days, and then it's gone again. And shout out to, trying to think of at least one more. Shout out to Holly. Girl, I'm so sorry. I don't even need to explain why. There's too many things I could be sorry for. I'm so sorry, girl. Good luck.
Good shout outs.
Gotta go on a plane with those people too.
Yep.
Oh no.
She even said she's looking forward to being airport mom. I don't know why you would look forward to that. That sounds horrible with these people. But hey.
I hope one of them just secretly
I hope she loses one at the airport.
I hope they do like an
7
airport
hours
travel
from
vlog.
Heathrow in a tin can towards Logan is not exactly.
Not good.
It's not a fun time.
I'll make fun Patreon content. The
Oh yeah, right. A travel vlog.
travel vlog.
Travel vlog era.
Oh man.
Anything for the content.
That could
They
hit
could do
hard.
a one shot on the plane.
No, don't. No.
That could hit
worth
hard.
it.
Very good. Shout outs from me. Thank you guys again for joining me here. Shout out to Expedition 33. Very cool gameplay reveal. 3 hours or so of content. Very cool. I'm looking forward to it. We are quickly getting towards a year with this crazy fandom, which is pretty cool. We will do something special, which we have yet to decide. So I look forward to that. And I think that's it for me. Harry, you have something you forgot though.
Yeah, annoyingly. Sorry. I wanna give a last minute shout out because you mentioned Expedition 33. I wanna give a shout out. I wanna give a shout out to Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions. Because the Death Stranding 2 trailer is genuinely like I haven't laughed harder with a trailer than I have with the previous Death Stranding 2 trailer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, all I just got to out of context moment. There's a guy called Neil in it. There's a guy called Neil in the game. And Hideo Kojima. God damn it! I'm so annoyed because I really want to play that game now, and I'm so fudging angry because I don't have a PlayStation 5, and I literally cannot possibly afford one. But just the trailer's really funny. Out of context, like there's just a funny scene where like a lady just tries like teleporting and she just leaves behind a baby for like a second. And like I paused the trailer and I laughed so hard I fudging walked out. I had to walk out the room. It was so fudging funny at the time.
He's a genius,
Please
man.
watch the Death Stranding 2 trailer if you haven't watched it. It's so fudging good. It's so good as a comedy, but please, I beg you, watch it with someone. Preferably watch it with me. If you've not watched the fudging trailer and you're on the Discord,
maybe we
please
should
let me
watch
know.
it before we hang up. Not in the episode, obviously, but maybe we'll watch it as soon as we
We'll watch
hang
it
up.
together in the great room.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Harry. Very good. Is there anything else you want to add?
He said no.
Not this time.
All right. Very good. Then we'll close things out. Thank you for listening and watching. If you got this far, I don't know how you don't know about Natural Six and all those things, but please like and subscribe to the videos on YouTube. And the Patreon continues to be great value for all the cool stuff that you get access to there.
Yes.
And with that, I think we're out. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.